government or the Malawian government is responsible for transporting its citizens to their home country. Thousands are calling for help. About 10,000 Malawians have been camped outside the Sherwood Hall in Durban, waiting to be repatriated before 30 June protests against undocumented foreign nationals. Nhlanhla Mabaso reports.
After the Malawian government pleaded for financial donations to transport its people who have been living in the country illegally, those camping here in Sherwood have turned to the South African authorities. Just when the official convoy of some government officials left the site yesterday, some started making demands.
We need to go home. Make a plan for us. We can't pay too much money. They must make a plan for us. They must make a plan. They need to go. They must make a plan for us, please. We need to go. Yes.
One of the demands was directed to the president himself.
Ramaphosa, send the buses here. Send the buses here. We need to go.
Hundreds have already left the country, mainly women and children. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Durban.
And UN Chief Antonio Guterres has apologized to Haitians for what he calls their abandonment by the international community. Haiti, the poorest country in the Americas, has for years suffered from instability as powerful gangs carry out rampant killings, rapes, looting and kidnappings. Nearly 1.5 million Haitians are currently displaced in a country of about 11 million, and more than 5 million others are facing severe food insecurity. The Secretary General, who last travelled to Port-au-Prince in 2023, visited a former school that has been transformed into housing for people displaced by violence. Despite the devastation, Guterres believes there are glimmers of hope in Haiti.
The level of suffering that the violence that exists in Port-au-Prince has created is absolutely intolerable. I've seen women raped. I've seen young people without any hope in relation to the future. I see levels of poverty that are absolutely intolerable and people living in the most desperate situation.
Gold is trading at $4,326.01 an ounce. The rand is at 16.20 to the dollar, 21.73 to the pound, 18.80 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $78.84 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North. In fact, a stop and go. This is between the Geldenhuys interchange and Moerfontein Road. This is due to an accident as well as roadworks along the route. There's also bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N12 and the R24 West between Barber Road and the Gilulis interchange.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 18 and 19 degrees. The breaking story in EWN this hour: former DA leader John Steenhuisen has become the first casualty of his successor Jordan Hill-Lewis cabinet reshuffle.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Visit primemediaplus.com to enter 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for the people, for our Josie.
For Joburg, by Joburg, in Joburg.
Bamise bonke.
702.
Live
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
And 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Seven minutes after 9 o'clock. Thanks very much for joining us. Good morning. You're on 702 on the 17th of June, 2026. I'm thrilled to be in your company. Madimeja is not here. Clement Manyathela is not here. My name is Thabo Shole Mashao. I'm in his stead. I'm always happy to be in your company, and I look forward to our discussions, your views, your musings, your thoughts, your perspectives on various issues that we'll be discussing on the show this morning. We have everyone else who's running the show is here. I thought I'm going to find a skeleton staff. No, everyone is here, from Abel, the technical producer, pressing all the buttons, making sure that you and I connect technically and smoothly so. and we also have Sinazo and Zintle. They're all here, making sure that the show flows. Great having you with us, and of course you, the most important ingredient of all of this. I'm thrilled, always happy to be with you. Quite a lot to go through this morning, and I really need your inputs on a number of things. On the open line, we'll obviously touch on that massive story that you would have heard a few minutes ago as read out by Sfiso Zulu on Eyewitness News about John Steenhuisen, the former DA leader. He's now apparently going to be the former Minister of Agriculture. Why? Because the newly elected leader of the Democratic Alliance, who also happens to be the mayor of the city of Cape Town, Mr. Lewis, has decided that John should take a back seat and be demoted from the position of minister to becoming Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry. The DA leader has written to President Cyril Ramaphosa to request him to remove John Steenhuisen as the minister. I would suppose that you and I would put two and two together, and we wouldn't be far off from the right answer by suggesting or insinuating or even speculating that the foot and mouth disease has got something to do with this. The farmers have, at least many of them, have been up in arms, complaining about Steenhuisen and his incompetence as far as dealing with the issue is concerned, and they have not been happy. Last week or a couple of days ago, you'd remember the altercation between some farmers and the staff members in Steenhuisen's office, and that is a very crucial constituency for the DA, especially ahead of these elections. The farming community, that is, because they are trying to battle FF Plus from gaining as much as possible from that particular constituency. And if Steenhuisen is not pulling up his socks, he's not helping them, and he's contributing to the decline of the party's electoral gains. So I suppose this is a mathematical formulation of sorts as far as elections are concerned, where the DA is saying we cannot lose these elections and we want to gain as many people as possible. You are not helping us, John, if the foot and mouth disease is just a thorn on the farmers behind, because these are the constituencies that we need to speak to directly, and they have supported us in the past, and we need them on our side as opposed to going the other way. And so it is said that Vili Ocamp may take up that position. Apparently he's a farmer. You'd remember him as a former spokesperson. He's in cabinet now, but apparently he's going to take over that job, and he may be able to relate far better with the farmers and be more competent as his skin is also in the game. As far as foot and mouth disease is concerned. I don't know what you make of that. It's a very interesting story. It's developing story, and we'll hear what the president has to say about everything else. But it looks like there'd be little choice on the side of the president to do anything else other than adhere to the request of the Democratic Alliance in this regard. Very interesting developments. I don't know what you make of that, and I'd love to hear from you on the open line between 9 and 10 o'clock. For the next 48 minutes or so, we will open the lines, and that's part of the things that you may want to deposit in our repository of ideas, a festival of thoughts, and a jumble sale of mind matter. So feel free to jump in at any given point on 011-883-0702, 011-883-0702. It was in the, I think I read it somewhere in the Business Day. I could be mistaken. If it's not, please pardon me. I was going through a number of papers, but I found the story extremely interesting as it outlined that as we are still in the Youth Month and having celebrated Youth Day yesterday in various colors, it was said that About a quarter of South Africa's adult population are young people aged 20 to 29, and they remain on the margins of the country's credit economy. And this was according to Experian data from Experian. It said that the Credit Bureau's latest consumer default index found that this age group holds just 10% of active credit accounts and accounts for a mere 4% of the 2.39 trillion in outstanding consumer debt. So only about 10% of young people in South Africa can access credit, are credit worthy. Put simply, that is worrying because the majority of South Africans are young people, and if young people, only 10% of young people are credit worthy, can access credit, the implications are dire for the economy simply because it means that they cannot get cars, they cannot access vehicles, at least via credit. They cannot buy, they do not qualify to get mortgages, bonds, buy houses, property, and so on. And that is really, really, really a worrying factor, meaning that a number of young people are excluded from the mainstream economy. I wanted to ask you this morning, are you one of those young people, in the 90% realm at least of them, who are unable to access credit? And what are the implications thus far for you? It could be that you are working, but you can't buy a car. It could be that you are working, but you can't buy property. So it exposes you to perpetual leasing and rental options that are out there, eating more into your pocket than it would have if you were able to buy something more sustainable for yourself, like property and so on. It means that you must then find different corners of buying that particular house or that vehicle that you wanted to get. And it could be more expensive to do so through other informal lending channels. What does it mean for you if you are unable to access credit, if you are not credit worthy as a young person? But there are implications, right? Even if you are not a young person, it could be that your child is 70, not 70, maybe 23 years old, and they're working, but they are still dependent on you simply because they cannot access credit. They must live with you far longer than they would have. You are borrowing them your car, or you bought them your car, and you need to constantly be that umbrella of assistance in the storm of the economic mayhem that many of us are feeling out here. So they can't really go out and venture on their own because they are reliant on mommy, on daddy, on uncle, on aunt, because the economic situation is so difficult. I mean, this thing of credit unworthiness has serious implications on all of us. And I mean, I am no expert in this at all, so do not judge me along those lines. And this is just a very layman's view on issues. I'm a layman on these issues, so I do not profess any expertise on the subject matter at all. But I'm just wondering, to what extent would it assist us if we were to have an amnesty of sorts, and well thought of amnesty of sorts, as far as credit bureau is concerned, blacklisting is concerned? Would it help our economy if we were to say all those who owe below 100,000 rands, let them get some sort of amnesty of sorts? Let's put them back and make them credit worthy again so that they can go there, stimulate the economy, borrow money for their small businesses, borrow money for their homes, borrow money for their entrepreneurial initiatives, and stimulate the economy. Other than just keeping them there, and they're perpetually in isolation, they're forever held back and ostracized from the mainstream economy. They're in the periphery of activities simply because they are blacklisted. Not everyone. I'm not saying if you owe millions and millions and millions of rands. Should we say maybe under 250,000 rands? If that's what you owe and that's what landed you in that blacklisting space, perhaps the country can come up with ways of saying, listen, let us just maybe have an amnesty program for these individuals, and try to rehabilitate them and inject some bit of enthusiasm back into our economy. Maybe we can achieve, 0.5% growth or so, or even lesser, but it would be something towards the upward trajectory of our economy. I don't know. The economists out there who would perhaps call me to order, I'm happy to get that. But are you one of those who are not credit worthy? How difficult is it for you to really transact? Open a bank account, get a vehicle loan, get a mortgage of sorts. How difficult is it for you to access credit if you are listed? And your mobility, are you able to give your family or somehow attain a financial life that would otherwise be better than your current situation, than the status quo? What has it blocked you from achieving, being blacklisted? Please let me know. Let's have a proper conversation around this on 011 883 0702. 011 883 0702. I would love to hear from you about it. And of course, we spoke about June 16 a little bit yesterday. Young people are faced with various issues. And if there's any other matter that you want to bring up, the unemployment one, Bongani Bingwa in his show dealt with it thoroughly. Had interesting people to ventilate the issue. But if you'd like to also bring it forward, you're most welcome to do so as well. I would love to hear from you about that. And still on the open line, I was speaking to my colleagues that The Polygamist, that production on Netflix, everyone is talking about it. Every single person is talking about The Polygamist. What is going on? And I was just thinking, I haven't watched much of it because I'm not a TV person, but I've managed to squeeze in one episode or so thus far, one installment of that thus far. And I was just wondering, to what extent does this somehow herald relevant productions in South Africa, where a lot of South Africans feel that this production speaks to us? We can relate to it, and hence it has received such great reception. Maybe the subject matter is uncomfortable, but it's relatable. It's stuff that people are afraid to speak about openly, but more and more, our productions are becoming relevant to us. We are not just borrowing stuff from overseas, Survivor South Africa, Housewives of LA. We are doing something that resonates with South African, and that is typically South African. Are we moving towards that direction? The underlying layer, of course, in all of that may be the uncomfortability of the subject matter, as I have said before. To what extent have we become okay with a culture of cheating, with a culture of multiplicity of partners, with a culture of infidelity? I think quietly in many relationships that has become acceptable. It has become somewhat of an unspoken rule that I know this person may be cheating. I know they may be seeing someone else other than me. And that is okay. As long as things remain the same, I'm not going to say anything. I think we have imbued that culture. I think it has become somewhat of a subculture to us, where we are saying, it's only those who belong to a group of exceptions who are not necessarily living the life of infidelity. I could be 100% wrong. It's an open line. Feel free to ask about anything, talk about anything, comment on anything. And lastly, on the open line, I've been told that a number of areas have been without water for the past 7 days or so due to maintenance. I know in Soweto, people in Dobsonville, people in, as I was coming in, Sis Prima was telling me that where she stays in Ekurhuleni, also she had similar problems. But a number of people have been complaining about water of recent, that they don't have access to water. Tankers are coming into their areas to drop off water, and they are told, the authorities tell them that the facilities are under maintenance. Are you battling with water where you are? Please share with us. I think that's very important, especially ahead of local government elections. I think we need to press on that. Are you battling with that essential service? How has your particular municipality responded to the water shortage, water cut off, and what are they saying? How long have you been without water for? Feel free to share that with us on 011-883-0702. Alternatively, you can just send a text message or a voice note to 072-702-1702. So that's between 9 and 10, and anything else that may capture your mind. Between 10 and 11, Lieutenant Colonel Katlego Mogale of the Hawks is going to have a word with us regarding the Gauteng Hawks head, Ibrahim Kadwa's suspension. Just after 10:30, we will be looking at all things World Cup. Have you been following the World Cup? I'm told that Senegal is playing France today. I could be wrong, or they've played already. Please do share with me. Ne? I want to know. I pray that Senegal beats France. I do. Abel is shocked in the studio and saying, how could you say, I do, Abel? I think it would be equating the scales, especially imbalances of the past. And I think it would put France right in its place. And it would be a great victory for the African teams. I genuinely want Senegal to beat France. I want that badly. 011-883-0702. Listener's choice. People's relationship with AI. What's your relationship with AI? Are you becoming more and more reliant on AI to assist you? Let us know. Abel has just texted me. He says France won 3-1. Abel, I mean for real. You know I don't follow soccer. Don't throw me in the deep end. And I give people wrong facts here. Did they win? Okay. How unfortunate. How unfortunate. I was not watching that one clearly. Thanks, Abel. But your relationship with AI, do you use it for your schoolwork? Do you use it at work? And I was saying that there are some media houses, by the way, that rely heavily on AI, especially from print media side. The article is presented and they take it through AI, and AI does the editing for it. And I would want to know from you, how reliant are you on AI? I will chat about that on Listener's Choice just after 11 o'clock. And we also have the sharing space, which I will keep up until later. Abel, 9:25. The show has officially begun.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Welcome back. You're on 702. Clement is not here. Open line. I'm happy to take your calls, your voice notes, your text messages on all the issues that I have raised with you. Feel free, please, to add anything else. That's what the open line is here for. I'm not here to dictate to you what you should be talking about on the open line. I'm just proffering one or two things that you may be interested in. But feel free. I want genuinely to hear from you about things that we never touch on. Please, stuff that we don't know anything about. I'm keen to hear about it from you on the open line. That's why we call it the open line. Straight to your calls, 011-883-0702. Who's been holding the longest? From my neck of the woods, Joseph in Krugerstop. Joseph, hi.
How's it, man?
Shapuzet, man.
I am still alive. I'm still alive.
We thank the good Lord for that. Welcome. What do you have to say, Joseph?
I just want to comment the credit worthiness that you touched on. Yeah, I'm speaking under correction, but I believe that's the number one block for all the people that are working in South Africa to stimulate and help to be more active on the economy. The reason I'm saying that is because first, it's systematic if you can look at it holistically. From the early stage as we're attending schools, we are told to go to school, get good grades, get a job. But is there any teacher or any system that teaches young individuals, youth, that look, when you're growing up, you're going to now be active in the economy? This is now what you need to look at in terms of dealing with your finances. Because I can tell you now, most of us were in that situation not because we wanted to. Some of the things, they were beyond our control, but some of the things most of them is because of lack of knowledge. And by the time you realize, okay, fine, I dealt with this or my finances in a bad way, the damage is already been done. And I can tell you, to repair it, it can take you even as 10 years.
Yeah.
While you're dealing with that, you still have credit bureaus that are dealing with these people that are collecting on behalf of the credit issuer. When they run to the credit bureau to list you, they don't even tell you anything. But when you come to the credit bureau, look, my affairs are fine now. Can you please tell these people now to remove my stuff? I can tell you that it's not as simple as it looks.
I agree with you, Joseph. I agree with you 100%. And this study was done by Experian, and I can tell you Experian is also very slow as far as removing people from their listing. Extremely slow. So you're right. To jump in there, very easy. But for them to take you out, it takes forever. Joseph, thanks for your call. King, you are in Sentin. Morning. Ra phela moranaka le phela jwang lona.
Number one, Jonas. You know, my family watched that drama the whole weekend. And hey, I'll be honest with you, from the beginning of time, it's unnatural for a man to be faithful to one woman. Only a man who fears God, truly fears God, will be faithful to his partner and his wife. Only a woman who fears God will be faithful to their partner.
But just for quick context, Jonas is the main character in that production called The Polygamist that I spoke about. And he's the instigator of this infidelity. So you are referring to him, and you are saying there are many Jonases among us. But I mean, let me be controversial for a second, and not for purposes of it. But I also think, Abuti, that being God-fearing at times is not sufficient to stop people from doing evil deeds.
Look, then if you do evil things and claim to fear God, you don't fear God at all.
And there are public examples to that effect, right? You'd know the story of the NG Kerk, how it perpetuated apartheid. But they said that they were God-fearing. That's just but one. And how a number of people who do bad things are Christian, moving away from apartheid, just looking at evil deeds generally. But they are Christian and apparently God-fearing. So I'm thinking that's a bit of an insufficiency on its own, don't you think?
The Bible says you shall know them by their fruits. If you are sowing fruits of murder, fruits of lust, fruits of all these things, you don't fear God at all. You know.
Jonas will have to leave that Sunday school biblical class for now because it's time for Eyewitness News, 29 minutes to 10. Sfiso Zulu standing by with Eyewitness News headlines. Good morning, Sfiso. What's the latest?
Thanks, Thabo. Good morning. EWN has reliably learned that John Steenhuisen has been axed as Agriculture Minister. Steenhuisen was appointed to the position 2 years ago when the DA joined the Government of National Unity. Since the outbreak of the foot and mouth disease, his office has been in running battles with agricultural and farming groups over the handling of the disease. The case against alleged crime boss figure Vismusiket Matlala will return to the High Court in Johannesburg today. Proceedings were postponed on Monday after the court was informed that accused number 1, Musa Kekana, terminated the services of his legal representative. Matlala, his wife Sakani, and 3 co-accused face 25 charges, including 11 counts of attempted murder linked to 3 separate shootings. And the first tankers carrying Iranian oil have left a U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz 2 days before Washington and Tehran launched talks on an agreed peace deal, still scant on details, and that's including the nuclear program of Iran and the lifting of sanctions. The talks on a final settlement are set to begin Friday in Switzerland. Negotiations over the final deal are expected to start immediately after the signing ceremony and the continuation of a 60 days window, leading to decisions on the fate of Iran's nuclear program and a plan for the lifting of international economic sanctions. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 10 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, traveling on the N3 North, we still have got delays between the Kilulis interchange and Mudderfontein Road due to roadworks. While heading towards Melrose, we've got queuing traffic on the M1 South between Greyston Drive and Glenhove Road. Speaking of Melrose, an accident has been reported along Corlett Drive. It happened right after the Oxford Road, at the Oaklands rather, exit, and it's causing delays. There's also queuing traffic on the N12 and the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Kilulis interchange. Heading towards Southgate, do expect delays on the N12 West just as you approach the Uncle Charlie's interchange. That's due to an accident there. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
South Africa, your vote starts with registration.
Register to vote.
This Saturday and Sunday, the 20th and 21st of June. Make sure you're registered to vote or check that your voter registration details are up to date.
To register where they ordinarily reside.
Whether you're registering for the first time or confirming your voting status, visit elections.org.za for everything you need to know. And stay informed with 702 Cape Talk and EWN for the latest updates, analysis, and developments throughout the registration weekend. Register, check, be counted.
Johannesburg is calling. Join thousands of Joburgers on Sunday, 26 July for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with Standard Bank. Experience the energy and spirit of the City of Gold as you walk through the historic streets of Joburg CBD, celebrating a city on the rise. As an iconic brand deeply connected to Johannesburg, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement that's bringing communities together and showcasing the best of Josie. Starting and finishing at Ellis Park, this is more than a walk. It's a celebration of our city and its growth journey. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
Take control of your equipment, your billing, and your revenue with PumaTech. Built for all-sized businesses in rental, construction, scaffolding, plant hire, and mining. PumaTech gives you real-time, on-site visibility of everything. Your equipment, your materials, across sites, yards, and branches. Simplify stock control, reduce losses, and manage your billing. All in one powerful, locally built platform. PumaTech. Know where everything is.
You can become a victim of a legal problem. Wrongful arrest, assault, uncontested divorce, rental disputes, maintenance matters, or labor problems. It can happen to you. Clientele Legal provides tough professional lawyers for an affordable monthly premium. Our legal team is standing by to assist you 24 hours a day. Join today. SMS Legal to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Gauteng is currently experiencing high water consumption. To avoid water interruptions, residents are urged to use water sparingly to allow equitable supply. Act now. Save water. Every drop counts. This message is brought to you by the Department of Water and Sanitation, Rand Water, Gauteng Provincial Government, City of Johannesburg, City of Tshwane, and City of Ekurhuleni.
Kaelo Lifestyle, a mental wellness and support program for employees and their families, is calling on you to take a step towards better mental health. As the mental wellness partner of 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, Kaelo is bringing even more purpose to the walk. From checking in with yourself to celebrating connection, every step is designed to support your well-being. So rally your team and walk for mental wellness. Visit primemediaplus.com for more information. Kaelo Lifestyle, changing lives and improving business. On 702, let's walk the talk.
For more about 702,
go to primemediaplus.com.
27 minutes to 10 o'clock. Clement is not here. My name is Thabo Mashao. You're on 702. Lovely having you with us. It's an open line all the way till 10 o'clock. And thereafter, we will be talking about the suspended Gauteng Hawks head, Ibrahim Kadwa. We'll speak to Lieutenant Colonel Katlaho Mohali, who will direct us through that discussion. But we've been touching on this, that, and the other. It's your turn to contribute. Firstly, I have to say, our last caller, please forgive me. I referred to you as Jonas. We were talking about Jonas so much. So the name Jonas was on my head. Please forgive me. I didn't mean any disrespect. I didn't mean any undertones that may come with that name. Not at all. I hope you forgive me for that. It was just it's not even slip of the tongue. I thought I had called you by your name and I had said, Jonas, please bear with me and forgive me on that one. 011-883-0702. Do you have water in your area? Yesterday, I fielded a number of calls from individuals who are saying that they don't have water where they stay, particularly in the city of Johannesburg. They cited the fact that maintenance was underway. They were not well informed. The water tankers would prefer to go to certain B&Bs and not necessarily spread themselves out as they ought to. The elderly not being able to walk to where the tankers were, as a result, not accessing clean water. And it has been such a big issue. I want to know from you about this. And let me tell you why I'm repeating this so much. It appears to me that in some instances, the city responds very quickly when the water issue affects certain areas more than the areas in the periphery of development, like the townships, peri-urban areas, and so on. I mean, you only need to have 20 people protesting at a corner for it to grab the attention of the city and the mayor. But in some areas, especially townships, it's a normality. It can go on for days on end and even weeks. You're not going to see the mayor there. You're not going to see the city coming to address everyone there because supposedly these people will see how to deal with this issue. I don't like that. And it makes me extremely unpopular. But listen, we're not at a pageant, right? I don't like that. That means that we're not equal. That means that certain voices are more louder than others. That means that our authorities who claim to be for the people are not really. They're more afraid of certain voices that are more affluent, that are class-driven, that have got more cash in their pockets with a couple of zeros on their balances, bank balances. And the people in the townships, they're just, whatever. We'll see them when we see them. Oh, Waban, we can't work like that. We truly can't work like that. We cannot work like that. Then elections are coming. We will be seeing you in your reflector, Jack. All this. But when it matters most, you're not there. People have been without water for days on end. But it doesn't matter because it's not in Sandton, right? It's not in Rosebank. It's not in Parkhurst. It's not in Sandhurst. It's not in Craighall. I can't keep quiet about that. Even if it makes me unpopular. That's cool. I'll take that pill. I can't keep quiet about that. We cannot keep quiet about that. Then we see you pretending to be with your people, pretending to be speaking the language of redress, empowerment, and this. But when you are needed more to express that, you are absent, completely absent. But you are quick to defend BEE this, BEE that, this, redress, empowerment of our people, this. But the basics, you don't care. Guys, no. I'm sorry. If I get into trouble, that's okay. That is okay. But we have to treat people equally. We truly have to. Do we have a voice note, Abel, on 072-702-1702? I've been neglecting those for quite a while.
I'd like to just put my input on the issue of cheating has been normalized in the country a lot, or maybe in the generation. I think, yeah, it's really crazy. I couldn't deal. I can't. But the problem is you also can't confront them. It's not easy because these days they just quickly throw you into the box of you are insecure. Just because you're inquiring and something is not made sure. When you ask about it, they're gonna say you're insecure, and then they're gonna throw you to the defensive mode. Now you have to defend the fact that you're not insecure, but there's signs. You see the signs, and it's curiosity. But hey, man, it's tough. I don't know if we're gonna win that one, but yeah, it's been normalized. I don't know how some people do it. I really can't. I leave the relationship.
Hi there. I was wondering, is it just 10% of South Africans, young people or youth, have access to credit? It's a good question to consider. How many of them actually want to to be part of the credit system. Maybe they're choosing to be cash orientated and to live outside of debt. Considering the economy is really, really a tough place to be in credit wise at the moment.
Yeah. A fantastic question, but judging by the fact that almost 5 million young people are unemployed, I think we have the answer. A number of young people do not even qualify to be credit worthy. Using that as a yardstick on its own, 4.7 million young people without employment, that just tells us that it cannot be that they prefer cash. It's because they do not even have access to stable income. As a result, not credit worthy. That's my summation. I could be wrong, but your point is well made, and I take that into consideration as well. Thank you so much for that. 011-883-0702. Who's been holding the longest? Stephen in Dobsonville. Morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. Tibo Shalamashao. My name is Stephen Mokwai, calling from Dobsonville. We have not having water, Tabo, since Wednesday last week, and there was no information, no communication from Joburg Water, any flyer, nothing from the flyers, no communication also from the councillors, the two councillors, Ward 48 and Ward 47. There's no communication. You know, the people, when you talk to them, they say, we don't even know those councillors. I tried to call Joburg Water, and then that we are struggling. You only see one truck going to different areas. You ask yourself, how do they send one truck in Extension 3, one truck in Dobsonville, Ward 47? It rotates like that. So people have been struggling. It's now 5 days. The water is trying to come through. Maybe it's because of the pressure today, after we have fought with them, that people cannot live like this.
No.
So that is the frustration of people in Dobsonville.
Oh man, please keep us posted, and I'm glad that you called and you expressed that, and I'm also happy that you made an effort to call Joburg Water. So when you call them, what do they say?
They say they are replacing some pipes at the reservoir in Extension 3. Even when I took pictures to see, they were busy working. They took out one of the big pipes there, restoring the pipe.
Did they give you an estimation as to when water can be restored?
They said water will be restored yesterday at night. So yesterday at night, when I checked with other groups in Dobsonville, few areas in Dobsonville, there were some little bit of the dropping of water. Now, at the moment, it's not all the areas are having water up to now. You know.
Thank you so much for that, Stephen in Dobsonville. Joburg Water, please give us a shout. Let us know what's happening. We'd love to hear from you as well. It's an open line, so we didn't necessarily ambush you. It's an open line. Feel free to participate as well and call as you ought to in the communications department of Joburg Water. You can call to clarify things. Feel free to do so. Mepinki in Orlando West. Morning, Mepinki.
Hello, it's Orlando East.
Orlando
Thank
East.
you.
Forgive me.
Hey, we are struggling since last week. This is the second week. Every day, 9 o'clock in the morning, there's no water. It will come at 11 p.m. So, is it any wonder that most black people I speak with, they say they're going to vote for Helen V. They don't even say DA. They say now we're going to vote for Helen V. Maybe you know, things like that. Can you imagine?
You know how heavy my heart gets when I hear that statement.
People are waiting because water is a basic. Sometimes it's both electricity. You wake up, there's no electricity, there's no water. Those are the basics. How are you expected to function? How are you? And we never had this thing. Even in the height of apartheid, we never struggled for water the way we are doing now, and electricity as well. You know, things are wrong, man. They're horribly wrong. It needs new people to come into the Johannesburg municipality to run the show, because really we are being failed.
Mapinki, thank you very much for that call, and those are your views, and I cannot invalidate them in any other way. It really sinks my heart when I hear people saying that, because it goes against the my I suppose framework of things when people say that it really breaks my heart, because it says that there is nothing, it suggests at least that there is nothing of competence, of efficiency that could come from black leadership. That's what Mepinki's assertions are saying. It really sinks my heart. I do not necessarily agree with it, and that sentiment grows every single day. You hear people referring to apartheid. I'm tired of even defending it, although it's not true. I'm getting tired of defending that, because sentiments are growing louder and louder every day. I don't know if our leaders are proud of that kind of stuff. I really don't know if it makes you proud that you're compared to the apartheid system and you come out last. I don't know if that makes you happy. 11 minutes to 10.
Get ready to take the reins. The spotlight shifts to the 2026 Hollywood Bets Durban July in our thrilling Season of Champions competition. Bet 50 Rand or more on horse racing online or at your nearest Hollywood Bets branch for your chance to take home a share of 2.5 million Rand in cash and prizes. Are you ready to embrace the country allure experience? Bet now and join the race for champion status. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
What if the problem you faced became the business that changed everything? That's what Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 is all about. With this year's theme, my pain, my purpose, my solution, we are calling on small businesses that turned real challenges into powerful ideas. You could win 200,000 rands in cash, plus mentorship, business support, and tools to help you grow sustainably. Enter the Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 now at primemediaplus.com or igniteyourbusiness.co.za. See money differently. Nedbank, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
You are not dreaming. You are repeating. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy, a pulse, and a feeling connecting everybody. The heart of Mzansi.
It's Joburg, you know?
In celebration of this, 702 has partnered with Jozi My Jozi, and we're calling on you to walk through the city center with us.
Walk the talk.
In the 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. On Sunday, 26 July, we're going to the iconic Joburg CBD, the home of dream creators and operators, where we dominate and history make. So join us and be a part of something special.
I'm ready to rock this book.
Because when Joburg walks together, extraordinary things happen. Enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk this July, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for the people, for our Jozi. Bamise bonke. Enter Walk the Talk now on primemediaplus.com.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
This conversation on 702 is brought to you by Capitec. Slam the scam with Capitec. Romance scams are among the most psychologically sophisticated frauds targeting South Africans like me and you today. They begin not with a demand for money, at least initially, but with weeks, sometimes months, or of relationship building, often initiated online or through WhatsApp. Victims, typically older adults, almost never tell anyone about these issues, with families only finding out once the money is all gone. To discuss how these scams unfold and find out what the warning signs are, let's chat to Nick Harris, Head of Financial Crime at Capitec, and Jean Rousseau, Head of CSI and Financial Education at Capitec. Nick, And Jean, good morning, and welcome to 702. Hope you guys are okay.
Thank you. Very good. Thanks.
Good morning. Thank you.
Well, let me start off first with you, Nick, and just ask who do romance scammers target? This is quite interesting because they must have their own targets. And how do they find their victims, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. And really, these criminals really seek out society's most vulnerable. And often what we've seen, it's often your older parents or family members who are lonely or looking for companionship. So we generally see the profile being people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s who may have accessible savings and a bit of a pension fund they've built up. And they come from a generation where trust is built up through conversation and consistent presence, right? And what we've seen, as you said, is that these scammers invest weeks and often months in building what feels like a genuine relationship without even mentioning the money. And this is probably the most dangerous component. That by the time the trap is sprung, that emotional bond is now real, and that person, that's the victim, really feels they're in a legitimate relationship. And really, what you need to understand is that it's not one person sending out random messages.
Yeah.
These are really organized syndicates with scripts, teams of operators, and they know the psychological weapons to deploy. And the most important thing for people to understand is that if you've never met a person face to face, this is probably the clearest warning sign that you're potentially being scammed.
Yeah, this is very, very worrying. Please forgive me. I said Jean Rousseau. I saw the Rousseau, so my tongue went French for a second. But is it Jean?
It's Jean.
Jean. Forgive me, Jean. But
No
Jean,
worries.
yeah, let's come to you, Jean. I wanted to find out, how is trust built over time? And at what point really does the financial trap get introduced?
So it almost always starts on a Facebook or a dating app. On Facebook, it might be a friend request from an attractive stranger, someone who appears really successful, well-traveled, and warm.
Yes.
And on a dating app, it is a match from someone whose profile seems too good to be true. And for someone who has recently gone through a traumatic life event like a divorce or recently widowed, or someone who's just genuinely looking for companionship and connection, that contact feels like an answered prayer or hope. And the scammer is patient, as Nick explained. So for weeks, sometimes months, they ask for nothing. And then one morning they message you, they ask about your day, remember details you mentioned in passing, and gradually create that sense that someone truly cares about you. And the conversation often then moves to WhatsApp, which feels more personal, more intimate, and is much harder for family to notice.
Yeah.
So once that emotional investment is deep enough, the financial traps begin, and they take more than one form. The most common that we see is an investment scheme, typically a cryptocurrency platform that has made the scammer, or the love interest in this case, that's obviously not a love interest, a fortune. They show fabricated screenshots of big returns and suggest you start with a small amount. And very often that small amount, you even get an upfront small payout to also further build that trust for you. But that's deliberate, to build your confidence. And then they ask you to invest more and more. And obviously that's where things go south. The other very clear signal or thing that we see is asking for a medical emergency or legal trouble, or the person is on their way to come and visit you and they're stranded at an airport and they need urgent funds to be transferred right away. And that urgency is manufactured. The story is designed to make you feel that helping them is an act of love, not a financial transfer.
Sure. Nick, let's quickly come to you before we say goodbye. What are the most common financial traps, and why is it that victims almost never tell anyone what is happening?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jean covered it in terms of the investment scams and schemes. The medical emergencies, I just need a quick cash send. They love that one. And there's always, an amazing opportunity that they've created wealth from. And it's a complete illusion. I think the problem is that the victims often don't tell anybody, not because they don't want to, but they deeply, they've particularly those generations find it uncomfortable to talk about their feelings, and that they are on this discussion or this group or this WhatsApp with this potential love interest. And then often, as soon as there's money involved, there's pride, right? They feel like they may be losing the opportunities to still be financially independent. and fear the family will just shuts it down. It's difficult to admit to your kids, listening, I made a mistake.
Sure.
But scammers also engineer this deliberately, and they'll tell their victims, like, just keep this between ourselves, don't tell anybody, and so forth.
Maintaining secrecy. Before we say goodbye, in 20 seconds, if you will, Jean, how do I know that my family member is trapped in this? How do I recognize that some few signs that one of my loved ones may be trapped in this huge scam?
It's obviously a difficult one if they don't share it with you. And I think maybe as a point of reference for families to rather have that discussion now, do not wait for a crisis. Have a conversation with your parents or older relatives about romance scams, how they start, how trust is built. A simple question, have you met someone interesting lately? Anyone online opens the door without accusation. Or a genuine curiosity question, you seem different lately. Is there someone new in your life? That single question asked with care could open a door that saves everything.
Yeah. But I mean, this is such an important discussion. Sadly, we had limited time. Thanks to both you, Nick Harris and Jean Rousseau. We should revisit it at some point, a minute to 10 o'clock.
This winter is a cold one. Keep the heat in and the cold out with Cash Build. Save on electricity and keep your home warm with our top quality ceiling insulation. Plus, upgrade to our energy efficient geysers and geyser blankets to keep your water hot for longer, especially in the mornings. Don't turn into an ice block this winter. Head in-store to your nearest Cash Build for quality insulation and energy-efficient geysers. Cash Build.
Joburg, it's time to show up for our city. On Sunday, 26 July, join thousands of Joburgers for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk in proud partnership with Standard Bank. Walk through the heart of Johannesburg, celebrate its rich history, and experience the positive growth taking place in the CBD. As a committed partner, passionate about the growth of our city, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement that's helping build a safer, stronger, and spirited Josie for generations to come. Register now and take the walk that brings Johannesburg together. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
We asked rugby legend Francois Steyn what he thinks of the all-new Toyota BZ4X. France, would you say the BZ4X is a rugged all-wheel drive SUV?
Yeah.
Cool. Was the acceleration and handling good?
Yeah.
All right. So you think the BZ4X can handle South Africa?
Wat dink jy?
Well, there you have it. The all-new Toyota BZ4X, an all-wheel drive battery electric SUV made to handle South Africa. The BZ4X. It just got real.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Former DA leader John Steenhuisen is to be recalled from his job as Agriculture Minister as new party leader Jordan Hill-Lewis wields his power to make his first changes. Steenhuisen is set to be replaced by Willie Okamp, who is currently serving in the Forestry, Fisheries and Environment portfolio. It will, however, be up to President Cyril Ramaphosa to officially make the appointments, as Steenhuisen is set to be demoted to the portfolio of Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
Announcing the changes today, DA leader Jordan Hill-Lewis says they will strengthen the DA's contribution to government and give better effect to the mandate received from its 3.5 million voters 2 years ago. Hill-Lewis says Minister Willie Okamp's immediate mandate will be to resolve the ongoing legal proceedings related to foot and mouth disease. Since the outbreak of the disease, Steenhuisen has been in running battles with agricultural and farmers groups over his handling of the situation and taken to court over the department's vaccination campaign. Okamp is a farmer and joined cabinet last year when Steenhuisen sacked Dion George as Minister of Fisheries, Forestry and Environment. Hill-Lewis has now asked President Cyril Ramaphosa to appoint Western Cape MEC David Mania to that portfolio to replace Okamp.
These changes reflect my responsibility as leader of the DA to ensure that our team in government consistently meets the high standards South Africans expect from us.
Hill-Lewis is also requesting several changes be made to Deputy Minister portfolios. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
The case against alleged crime boss figure Vusumuzi Cat Matlala will return to the High Court in Johannesburg. Proceedings were postponed on Monday after the court was informed that accused number 1, Musa Kekana, terminated the services of his legal representative. Matlala, his wife Tsakani, and 3 co-accused face 25 charges, including 11 counts of attempted murder linked to three separate shootings. One of the incidents involves Matlala's former lover, socialite and actress Tebogo Tobejane. Nkosikona Malingamnisi reports.
The state alleges that Vusumuzi Cat Matlala orchestrated a plot to have Tebogo Tobejane killed in 2023. On Monday, Matlala's legal team stayed its application to compel the state to disclose additional evidence after prosecutors handed over documents and material the defense says are essential to preparing its trial. The defense's Annelief and Enhever told the court that both parties would work to resolve any outstanding issues ahead of the trial, which is scheduled to begin on the 20th of July. The court also dealt with confusion surrounding whether Tobejane had provided a statement to police watchdog IPID. Prosecutors said a misunderstanding had left Tobejane unhappy, stressing that she had never withdrawn a statement she made to investigators and had never approached IPID to make a separate statement. The dispute arose after the defense requested an alleged IPID statement in which Tobejane was purportedly said to have claimed she had been assaulted and coerced into making a false statement against Matlala. Nkosikona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News.
Free State Police have arrested 4 suspects following a volatile anti-gang operation where 2 officers were attacked. A homeowner allegedly unleashed 2 pit bulls on the officers as they attempted to enter a property suspected to be a drug den in Hidedal. Police say the officers avoided serious injury and went on to seize crystal meth and cash believed to be proceeds of crime. The situation escalated when an angry crowd allegedly attacked the police officers and stoned several state cars, forcing police to use stun grenades and rubber bullets to disperse the mob. Police spokesperson Tandim Bambo.
2 suspects, the homeowner 45 and a 20-year-old male, were arrested inside the drug house for dealing in drugs. The homeowner also faces additional charges of assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm for setting his dogs on the police officers. 2 additional suspects, aged 26 and 51, were arrested for malicious damage to property and assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm related to the attack on the police and police vehicles.
And the first tankers carrying Iranian oil have left a U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz 2 days before Washington and Tehran launch talks on an agreed peace deal still scant on details, including Iran's nuclear program and the lifting of sanctions. The talks on a final settlement are set to begin on Friday in Switzerland. Negotiations over a final deal are set to start immediately after the signing ceremony and continue during a 60-day window, leading to decisions on the fate of Iran's nuclear program and a plan for the lifting of international economic sanctions. Optimism that the war triggered by the February 28 U.S.-Israeli strikes on Tehran might be coming to an end has been dented by fresh Israeli strikes on South Lebanon. Yesterday, U.S. President Donald Trump criticized Israel for attacking Lebanon over the weekend.
I saw that attack. I saw where that bomb went. Did you see what happened? That was a vicious, that was too much. You know, you can do too much also. But we've had a very effective relationship. Without us, without the United States, there would be no Israel.
Gold is trading at $4,325.44 an ounce. The rand is at 16.22 to the dollar, 21.76 to the pound, 18.83 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $78.36 a barrel.
And in the traffic in Meadale, we've got an accident on the N12 West. It happened right after the Uncle Charlie's interchanges, causing delays while traveling in the city of Tshwane. We still have got roadworks on the N1 South between Sefako-Makgatho and the N4 exit, causing delays.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 18 and 19 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: former DA leader John Steenhuisen is set to be recalled from his job as Agriculture Minister as new party leader Jordan Hill-Lewis wields his power to make his first changes.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie, walk the talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Eight minutes after 10 o'clock. Thanks very much to you for joining us and being with us all the way till 12 o'clock. Really appreciate your time. Clement is not here. My name is Thabo Sholamashau. I'm in great company with you listening through to us, obviously. In the past hour, we had an open line, a very vibrant one. We heard about water shortages in some areas in the city of Johannesburg, but we also heard about the famous polygamist that has taken South Africa by storm. Everyone else is talking about it, and we had your views on that as well. We also had a chat about John Steenhuisen, who is due to be moved as Minister of Agriculture to be replaced, hopefully by Willie Ocamp, if all that the DA wants will come to fruition. And we touched on that as well on 011-883-0702. There's a situation that is unfolding, and we have made some small changes in our lineup just to keep you abreast with the very latest. You'd know that in KwaZulu-Natal right now there is a bit of movement where the Premier Tamin Duli says that the growing number of Malawian nationals stranded at the Sherwood Hall grounds in Durban is a growing humanitarian crisis. We'll chat about that momentarily. 9 after 10.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Yeah, and I was still explaining to you that that situation in KwaZulu-Natal is getting to be a bit interesting on a negative side. An estimated 8,000 Malawian nationals remain gathered at the grounds despite buses continuing to transport people back to Malawi. About 755 departed on buses provided by the Malawian government at the weekend, and it is said or reported that the Malawian government now seeks financial assistance to take some of these individuals, their nationals, back home. The Department of Home Affairs said nearly 2,000 Malawians out of the group camping in Sherwood have been living in South Africa illegally. Our reporter Nhlanhla Mabaso is there. He has his fingers on the pulse, his eye on the ground, and he is moving around to make sure that he gets the accurate picture that is taking place. Nhlanhla, a great pleasure talking to you. Welcome one more time. I hope you're well. Good morning.
Good morning. In fact, I think let's just kick it quickly with what's happening now. Police officers are preparing them to sit down where they are going to get an official address now, because it seems frustrations are growing and they are concerned that they really want to go home. They say the pending looming shutdown on the 30th has them fearing for their lives. In fact, let's quickly speak to one of them, Thabo,
Sure.
about before we take that address. My
Sure.
brother, you have said that you are worried that you've been here for days. Talk to us quickly.
Yeah, we have been here for the days, and the things about giving us a deadline of going back home. That makes us to be in here, this place. You know what I mean? So like now we are not working. We don't do nothing about like right now we are not doing anything. So that's why we say okay, let's go back home. So now like I'm wondering why those guys for the march and march, they used to come here. My issue is with those guys, why are they coming here? What they want? So now, if those guys are coming here, we're going to fight with them. Because like we already agree that we have to go back home. There's no need for them to leave their places and they come here.
But what do you want now? What do you want now with this? This demonstration here. What do you want? What do you expect?
No, this demonstration, we want to know exactly where those guys are going to. Because we don't know, are they going to Rindela or are they going where?
By those guys, you mean those
right
people
now,
by police vans?
Yeah, those people who sent by the police vans, you know.
Okay.
So,
Thabo will take a look at that address shortly, but in a sense, that's what the brother is basically saying, that they want to actually go back to their country, and that's it. They say they want government to fast track the process. They say it's been taking long. As you can hear in the background,
commotion.
They are actually complaining that they've been here and they've not been attended to.
Yeah. Are more people still arriving, Nhlanhla?
I beg your pardon?
Are more people still arriving to be processed?
Well, a number of them in the morning, but mainly these are people who've been here for nearly over a week now. Who are they say 2 weeks rather, but they say they rather want to be processed with immediate effect. They want to go home. They want their issue to be attended to. But they say despite several attempts, they're not getting the feedback they want. But we're now going to listen to the chief of the customs here was going to address.
Let me release
but also
you.
mainly, thank you.
Let me release you to listen to the chief, and then so that you can come back to us with accurate facts as to what the police have said there in Tlantla. Tlantla Mabaso is EWN reporter, and he's live at Sherwood giving us that coverage right now, where about 755 Malawians have departed on buses, and this was provided by their government over the weekend. And Home Affairs has said that nearly 2,000 Malawians, of those gathered out of the group camping in Sherwood, have been living in South Africa illegally. Apparently, Home Affairs has got its own program to make sure that they repatriate the individuals back to their homes, and it will be now up to the South African Department with their own budget to do so. But first, they must have some virtual courts set up in order to process them legally, and to have records of those who are here and those who have left. And it has been reported that many of those who are gathered at Sherwood do not want to go through this process of being handed over and going through the court system and eventually taken back home. It is said that all that they want to do is to jump into the buses and be driven across the border. Thulani Mavuso, Deputy Director General at the Department of Home Affairs, joins us right now to give us accurate information as to how the Home Affairs Department is dealing with this matter. Mr. Mavuso, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. What is the latest, especially as regards to virtual courts? Have you started setting them up? Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners. Yes, we have already started with a virtual court yesterday. What we have decided to do, because these are now two separate processes, we have a process of voluntary repatriation that we are doing together with the government of Malawi, which is a different process compared to the deportation. So I think that's the one issue. The second issue is that, yes, we set up one court that was linked to the magistrate court in Durban. Now, today, we have also set up additional 5 physical courts where people are appearing this morning.
Are the numbers correct? Please just clarify that for us, because it was said that there were about 8,000 Malawian nationals who remain gathered at the grounds. As far as your numbers are concerned, how many have departed, and how many are yet to be processed through your systems and be taken back home?
So the numbers are fluctuating because people are coming from different areas of the province. For an example, yesterday we had repatriated 444 adults and 277 children, so that was 721. Where we are, those are the ones that were repatriated through the buses of government of Malawi. But where we are, those that we have now deported, yesterday we deported 62 with our own Home Affairs bus. So as I want to explain the difference between the process.
Sure.
Deportation is when, as government, we have said we have identified this individual. They are not doing a voluntary repatriation because the government can no longer cope with Malawi. They no longer have the buses. Even in Cape Town, in Bredersdorp, there were buses that were being sent there, both Malawi and Zimbabwe. They are no longer coping with the mechanism of bringing their people back home. So therefore, we are now taking the process that says we are deporting them. So that's why we've set up the courts so that magistrate can confirm deportations, and then we exit the people from the country.
Thanks for clarifying the difference between the two systems there. But thus far, given that it has been reported that Malawian government has expressed that they do not have sufficient resources to undertake or complete the process, is it now up to the South African pockets to then make sure that individuals are deported back home?
Remember, as a government, we have a responsibility that when we have identified an individual who is in the country in violation of the immigration laws, we have a duty to deport them.
Sure.
So in this instance, we're doing exactly that. In instances where somebody has been found in the country and then they offer to voluntarily leave the country on their own means, that is also allowed in terms of our processes. But in this instance, where we either will take them from Durban, keep them in Lindela, from Lindela, then deport them. But in these instances, we are direct deporting them. What courts have confirmed. We're also bringing additional buses from Free State and Mpumalanga to go to Durban to help us, obviously, with the numbers. These are Home Affairs buses that we bought for the purpose of deportation.
It was said that nearly 2,000 are illegal. Is that out of the 8,000, or how many, or out of the ones that have been processed thus far?
Yes, based on the statement that we issued yesterday, it's those that we had already processed, that we had confirmed their status. So I can safely say that it is true that the majority of those people are in the country. They would have long been here, overstayed their visas. Some of them came with no documentation through illegal means. So a majority of them do not have any status in South Africa.
Sure, and there could be more than 2,000 as you process, then you'll find out. Factually, thus far, only 2,000. But more pressingly, your communication with the Malawian government, how has it been? Are they happy to cooperate, especially given that they don't have resources? You'll be deporting some of them. Will they be waiting for them on the other side? And how's the line of cooperation between the two?
No, we have been working very well with the government of Malawi in relation to that. They've been cooperating with the Consulate General. So we're quite pleased with that cooperation that they've offered us.
Yeah, and Mr. Mavuso, as you have said that about 8,000 had gathered there, I'm just wondering about the role of other stakeholders. You're talking about the UN and various UN agencies that may be interested in this, the NGOs that have been very vocal and vociferous on these issues. What role are they playing, and how many stakeholders are holding your hand in this process?
Well, we're currently working with the municipality of eThekwini through the Office of the Mayor, also the Office of the Premier, and the South African Police Services. Obviously, we have not been working with other organizations, but we do believe that this is a matter that now has got to be dealt with through law enforcement. As the President has indicated, that the responsibility to deal with this issue lies with the enforcement security agencies. So we are confining our work with those security agencies rather than any other NGOs.
I'm going to ask you just to please hang tight for me as I take a quick break, and I'll be back with you. Thulani Mavuso is Deputy Director General of the Department of Home Affairs, 20 after 10.
Whether it is a CCMA referral, problems with a mechanic, unfair blacklisting, or an uncontested divorce, Clientele Legal offers professional legal services to all South Africans. Our plans are affordable, and you receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. We cover civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Our nationwide legal teams are standing by to support you 24 hours a day. Plus, all plans include a 5,000 rand bail benefit. Join today. SMS LEGAL to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Upgrade your home at unbeatable prices. Design Plus Interiors huge warehouse clearance sale in Wynberg is now on. Visit us at 17 6th Street, Wynberg for exceptional savings on quality sofas, bedroom suites, dining sets and accessories. This is your chance to get quality furniture at reduced prices. Stock is limited. Once it's cleared, it's gone. Design Plus Interior Furniture Warehouse, 17 6th Street, Wynberg.
When tax issues get complex, you need more than general advice. You need specialist insight. AJM turns intricate tax challenges into clear strategic solutions. From disputes and litigation to long-term planning, our expertise protects what matters to you and your business. With teams in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Namibia, we deliver the rigorous analysis high-stakes decisions demand. AJM. Complex tax matters simply resolved.
You know when your people are giving their best, not because they're pushed or pressured, but because they feel supported. And support is making sure they're covered. So if something happens, they can get the care they need. FlexiCare Health Insurance makes it simple for every business to protect their people with affordable health cover. You care, we cover. For a tailored FlexiCare quote, speak to your financial advisor today. FlexiCare is underwritten by ANG, a licensed non-life insurer and FSP, and administered by Discovery Health, a licensed FSP.
FNB Private has just been named South Africa's best private bank at the prestigious Euromoney Global Private Banking Awards 2026. And to unpack what that means, 702 is in conversation with FNB Private for a three-part series exploring the ideas, values, and strategies behind one of banking's highest honors. Each week, John Pullman goes deeper into the award itself, sustainability, and investment, with the experts driving FNB Private vision forward. Catch 702 in conversation with FNB Private every Thursday on Afternoon Drive with John Pullman. FNB Private, your long-term wealth partner.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
702 indeed. My guest, Thulani Mavuso, Deputy Director General at the Department of Home Affairs. This on the background of what is happening in KZN, particularly at Sherwood Hall grounds in Durban, as a humanitarian crisis is unfolding, at least according to the Premier Tamin Duli in KZN. It was said that about 8,000 Malawian nationals had gathered at the grounds despite buses continuing to ferry them back to Malawi. And if you've just joined the conversation, welcome. The Deputy Director General of Home Affairs had expressed and very clearly distinguished between deportation and sending people back home in other ways. And he is continuing to join us right now. Mr. Mavuso, thanks for staying with us. I'm just going to keep you for about 2 minutes and release you. I know you've got a lot on your plate. I'm just wondering, given what is happening now, the deadline of the 30th of June looming, do we see more and more countries responding by trying to repatriate their individuals? What is the commotion? What is the conversations like between yourselves and especially with countries in and around SADC and perhaps a little bit beyond?
No, I just need to explain that the bigger issue that we are dealing with here is that the countries where most of these people originate from, they are quite clear that in our correspondence with them, that they must encourage their citizens not to be in South Africa illegally, that everybody is welcome into South Africa if they are all legal. So I think the point we have been emphasizing with them is to be able to discourage their citizens. So this process is not just, yes, it is obviously the culmination of all this anger that has been happening around the country, but in reality, we have been doing this work on a daily basis. Obviously, the scale now has increased based on the issue of the fear that is being raised around this particular matter. But illegality is something that government definitely frowns upon because we've got laws that ought to be respected.
Certainly.
That is why, even prior to this incident, the Minister had indicated that in the last financial year, we have seen 46% increase in deportations that Home Affairs has been carrying out.
I just need you to perhaps entertain some few thoughts from our listeners who may have sent their views on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, Thabo. Can you ask the Deputy DG, what are they doing about those corrupt Home Affairs officials, more so in this regard, who issued the fraudulent documents to the Malawians that are stranded now? Because definitely there are some that are having documents but guaranteed fraudulently obtained. Thulani Dlamini. Thank you, Thabo.
Good morning, Thabo. I would like to ask, how are they dealing with the deportation or repatriation of those who don't belong to the continent? Pakistanis, Bangladesh, Chinese, British, you name them. Why does it sound like this migration is actually limited to Africans only, whereas we live with Bangladeshis here in Soweto? We see them every day, the Pakistanis, the Chinese. We don't even know their status. And these people, they are there a lot, because you would find 3 Pakistani spaza shops just in one street. And they are even comfortable right now. It seems as if this June 30th deadline doesn't bother them. So I would like to ask, how is the government going to deal with that? Yeah,
thank you, Khotso. DDG?
No, thank you very much. On the issue of fraudulent documents, we definitely crack down on those issues, particularly the Section 22 permit, which is asylum seeker documents that have been also forged. There are instances where people produced, not even in Home Affairs, in some computer shops where people generate documents that look like they are Section 22 asylum seeker permit. But when you take that document to verify against the system, it doesn't exist. And I've been saying it's like, when someone is carrying a fake banknote, those banknotes would not have been produced by the Reserve Bank, but would have been produced somewhere else by people who are purporting to be, creating those particular notes. Similarly, Home Affairs is faced with a similar issue where there are places that were found in Durban, in Hillbrow, and many other places when we were cracking down, where you find that people produce documents that look like Section 22 permit. But where officials are involved, definitely, because we're able to trace who issued which document. Now, on the second question on Bangladeshis and Pakistanis, we definitely do deport. We charter planes where we have to deport people out of the country of certain origins who are not just from the African continent. But obviously the numbers are not the same, because I think here it is because of close proximity that people are able to just cross the border and be able to go back to their homes within the region. But those that we deport to other countries, like as you've said, Pakistan, Bangladesh, the Chinese, we do that all the time through chartered mechanisms, also working with the ambassadors.
Thulani Mavuso is Deputy Director General at the Department of Home Affairs. Thanks very much for your time. And now back to Nhlanhla Mabaso, EWN reporter. Nhlanhla, what is the latest?
How are you there?
I'm here, Nhlanhla. I was asking, what is the latest?
Out of hand, really, several stunt grenades have been deployed by police officers trying to maintain the situation. This was after 3 police vehicles and custom vehicles taken a group of male who are known to be undocumented foreign nationals here. They were taking them to the Durban Magistrate Court. Remember, before you could be deported back to your country, you must have went a legal process, where you, of course, admit that you're in the country illegally, then get a document that says you need to be deported to your country. They started pelting customs vehicles with stones, police vehicles. We male journalists had to jump in and cover our female colleagues, while police officers also tried their best to cover us with limited shields. But the situation really is out of control. The road is now completely shut down. Stones, broken windows, broken glasses. They're throwing all sorts of objects that you can think of.
Nhlanhla, keep safe there, and you'll get the rest from Nhlanhla Mabaso on Eyewitness News as we go to Eyewitness News headlines with Sfiso Zulu. 10:30 on the dot. Sfiso, the situation seems to be getting out of control in Durban. But what else do you have for us? Good morning.
Well, Thabo, good morning. As you've just heard, that there are scuffles outside of the Sherwood Hall in Durban, where thousands of Malawian citizens are having a scuffle with police there. They've been camped at that hall for about a week now, and they're asking to be repatriated to their home country in Malawi. They say that they're escaping the 30 June protests, which are planned against undocumented foreign nationals. This is a developing story. We'll keep you updated as the day goes. In other stories, the cost of living is rising a little faster than a month ago, with inflation climbing to 4.5% in May from 4% in April. Statistics South Africa released the figures this morning, showing that the biggest drivers were housing, utilities, transport and insurance, and financial services. The price for goods such as food and everyday products also increased faster than they did in April. Former DA leader John Steenhuisen is to be recalled from his job as Agriculture Minister as new party leader Jordan Hill-Lewis wields his power to make his first changes. Steenhuisen is set to be replaced by Willie Olkamp, who is currently serving in the Forestry, Fisheries and Environment portfolio. It will, however, be up to President Cyril Ramaphosa to officially make the appointments. And the president has urged African leaders to renew their commitments and accelerate action on the Ebola crisis. Speaking at a high-level virtual African Union meeting on the crisis yesterday, Ramaphosa emphasized solidarity, stronger health systems, and urgent investment in Africa's own capacity to respond to the health emergencies. He also announced that South Africa is increasing its financial pledge to support the fight against Ebola. And those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 11 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
While traveling towards Midrand, we've got an accident on the N1 South that happened near Brockfontein Road. It is causing heavy traffic volumes. Please be on the lookout there. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N12 West heading towards Southgate. This is due to a major accident seen as well. So please approach with care. Try to use the Mark 1 North instead. And traveling on the M2 West towards Amalgam, we've got delays between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. I'll have more updates. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
It's lunchtime and Mr. D has you covered. Open the app, pick your favorite meal and enjoy free delivery between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. No restrictions, no hassle. Skip the lines, stay at your desk and let us bring you lunch to you. Plus, every food order on Mr. D app gives you a chance to win exciting prizes. Download Mr. D app now and make lunchtime effortless.
When you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Nedbank is more than just a bank. We're a growth partner because we understand that real success happens when you're looking ahead, spotting opportunities others miss, and planning for tomorrow, today. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank. We're licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Sound engineering is an industry that never stands still. That is why industry-led education matters. At Academy of Sound Engineering, learning is rooted in current industry practice, not outdated theory. It's about adaptability, creative problem solving, and staying relevant in a fast-moving industry. We don't just teach you about how things work today, we prepare you for what's coming. Get in touch with us on asc.co.za or email us on info@asc.co.za.
We at Monument Dental are very happy with the premium we're paying. I wish I did it sooner.
Outsurance business insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium when you switch? For dentistries, general medical practices, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance business insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Durban is more than a destination. It's an experience shaped by passionate people and exceptional businesses. Tomorrow, catch 702 Drive with John Pellman live from 5th Durban Tourism Business Awards at the Durban ICC. From hotels and restaurants to tour operators and filmmakers, it's a night celebrating those helping make eThekwini a world-class destination. Don't miss it. Celebrating excellence in tourism live tomorrow. Brought to you by Durban Tourism on 702.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
25 minutes to 11 o'clock. I know you have been following the World Cup very closely. And as you might have listened to the show a little bit earlier on, I embarrassed myself. And Abel corrected me. Fortunately, he's following more than I should. And we were talking about the match between Senegal and France. And I had said that I had wished that France was beaten by Senegal. And to think that the match had already played tells you that I'm not following as I ought to. But the FIFA World Cup has always been about more than just football, right? It's also about those stories, culture, national pride, unforgettable moments. Well, there's a beautiful show, a South African show looking to capture exactly the World Cup. It's called the World Cup Central, and it captures the essence between, it's like almost like mortar between the bricks, if you will. Brand new production from Prime Media Sports Content Hub, offering audiences a fresh, relaxed, and distinctly African perspective on the biggest sporting event on the planet. Hosted by the flamboyant, the great, the amazing, the multi-talented television personalities, Katlego Maboe, alongside former Banyana captain Amanda Dlamini, and veteran football journalist John T. Mark. The show promises to move away from the traditional studio analysis, where they speak about how many passes, how many goals, and all of that jazz. It talks about the real stuff. Katlego Maboe is sitting in front of me, joining me to tell us more about the show. Morning, bro. You good?
I'm very good, Abuditabo. It also offers us an opportunity to have friendly banter amongst each other. You know, for instance, asking you, Beugu, Pivuga Maulele, why are you not following game by game, knowing the scores that are happening right now? Because Umhlaba wonke is there.
Bills to pay, people to see, restaurants to visit. That's where I was. But I like the show already because it seems to be catering for people like me who are not necessarily into the stats of 1989 and whatever else, but it's more than football. Tell us.
Absolutely. World Cup Central is exactly that. It's more than football. And you talk about like the stats of 1989, the hand of God, Diego Maradona in 86. We do bring some of that into the mix because it's relevant in the conversation. One of the things we talked about last week was the weight of the jersey number 10. You know, it's been worn by some of the most prolific players ever. Pele, Maradona, John Shoes Musewe in our regard. And then landing on Relebohile Mufokeng, President Yamatuke. How are you at that young age donning the number 10, Bafana, on the world stage? Your first World Cup. And then we discuss the things, especially because we have the perspective, Amanda Dlamini, who's been in that situation in the dressing room, pitch side. She understands that. John T brings the fresh perspective of, the insightful data, but then it becomes a conversation that takes place in a fictitious, if you will, imaginary high-end bar where we are also born, style-wise, we are there. We need to make sure...
Even if you had to say so yourself,
they must know. We are bringing world-class entertainment. World Cup Central has been such an incredible journey, a wonderful adventure as we try and capture the imagination of Africans, South Africans, bringing them the news of the biggest and most exciting sporting event in the world.
I'm interested about stories happening off the pitch because right now it's obviously taking place across Mexico, USA, and Canada. But off the pitch stuff is also very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Cover that?
We expect to unify the entire world. And so when there is this kind of exclusionary nature that happens for some individuals, we ask the question, why is that happening? But we also take on other stories, like you say, pitch side. One of the most endearing stories that I'm not sure if you're a CR7 or a Messi fan. Declare your loyalty now before the world. Come on. That's exactly what I'm talking. So he scored the hat-trick, the World Cup's first hat-trick this morning when they were playing Argentina versus Algeria. One of the wonderful things, you could see the emotion that evoked within the Argentinian supporters who were there, the bench that was there. But apparently, when he came off being substituted, the bench was full and players respecting him made space for him to sit. And he's like, no. Everyone stay seated, and he watched the rest of the match while seated on the grass. This is the Lionel Messi.
Oh, man.
The GOAT.
Oh, man.
What does that say to you about the humility of one of the greatest players in the world? We dive into things like that. How does that help us appreciate the sport, the person even more?
I mean, there was a beautiful headline that came through. I hope I'll remember it verbatim. It said, a Messi hat-trick for Lionel.
Oh! Messi. I like the play on words there. Granted, the second goal was a bit of a cleanup. So he cleaned up the Messi, you know what I'm saying? But the rest of it was absolutely sensational. And you can see how he's such a pivotal player. But one of the things they did say that I heard in the commentary as well is that he's a player for the team, which I assume is why he's seen so much success. So Ronaldo is chasing very hard this year because if he leaves this World Cup without a trophy in his hand, what will that do to the debate? The GOAT. Let's speak facts.
Finally, it will be very clear and distinct who the GOAT is. But I mean, earlier on we were chatting about the African perspective to it. I'm more interested in that as well. As I was saying, my ignorance was displayed to our wider audiences that I had thought that the match had not happened between France and Senegal. And my view was that I had wanted Senegal to win for symbolic purposes. And I still want African countries to win, especially playing against this colonial giant of the erstwhile France. I had wanted them to send that. So speak to us about the African perspective of the show.
Well, the fact that we have such representation gives us as Africans a sense of pride that we can celebrate. And there are indeed kind of micro wins that we can put together. For instance, Cabo Verde holding Spain European champions, former World Cup champions here on home soil, to a 0-0 draw, courtesy of a Vozinha performance, a 40-year-old Vozinha who did incredible. The match of his life, bar none. And then beyond that, you delve into the story of who is this 40-year-old goalkeeper who went from some 1,000 followers on Instagram at the start of the match to 1.7 million as it stands right now.
Imagine.
The interview that he gave afterwards about, the fact that his parents, his family couldn't make it to the World Cup due to visa issues and all kinds of financial issues, but yet he was there able to perform for his country, making their World Cup debut, is such an inherent story in kind of showcasing the African dream, if you will. But we're like, hey, the American dream.
Yeah.
But we also have an African dream that we can celebrate with moments like this. I loved the moment where the game between Germany and they played against, help me out here again, Germany won 7-1, and the goal that was scored by...
You are talking to someone who's not going to help you at all. At all. Unfortunately.
It was also a massive moment in the sense that Germany are these juggernauts.
Yes,
and yet here was this David swinging up against Germany.
Yeah,
and even though the score reflects otherwise, a 7-1 victory for the Germans, the one goal scored there by the African country certainly is something for us to celebrate as Africa.
Summit in Europe a few days ago was very interesting. Speaking of Germany, that the German Chancellor had given Donald Trump jersey number 47. And that was because he's the 47th president now, notwithstanding the past stint. But just that symbolic gesture, and apparently it made the summit more friendlier than it was in the previous. So it speaks to how football can actually be a diplomatic tool to even resolve issues beyond the football pitch.
And you think of the happenings just before the World Cup as well, and the opportunity that was at hand for America to perhaps show itself as this nation that is a unifier of the world, as some call it, the greatest nation in all the world. Again, the United States president is regularly referred to as the most powerful man in the world, and so there was an opportunity there. And I'm not quite sure whether, from a personal point of view, I think that opportunity was utilized to its fullest. Of course, there are so many extenuating factors that you've got to take into consideration. What was happening before the World Cup, immigration laws, etc., etc. But certainly, right now, I think the World Cup has delivered on a lot of excitement. We've seen the stadiums, most of which have been filled to capacity. The pre-match shows, the spectacle of the flags and how it's all been put together has really been of an incredible standard that I personally have enjoyed. Of course, there are many differing opinions out there, with all due respect. But so far, how would you say you've experienced the World Cup?
I've loved it, especially the opening. I had a bit of an irritation. A minute before an opening, a client called for a meeting quickly, urgently. So I missed the opening ceremony that I must still go back to. But I mean, I wanted to ask you, I just want to take a break quickly then, because I just want to ask you about the South African relationship, as South Africans, our relationship to the World Cup. Given that 2010 was such a big moment for us. And in this World Cup, it was Mexico and South Africa right at the beginning, almost reliving that moment. Our relationship with the World Cup, Katlego, please, when we come back, touch on that. Katlego Maboe is a co-host of World Cup Central and broadcaster, well-known media personality, a wonderful human being in general. But when we come back, we'll touch on that. Feel free to join the conversation on 072 702 1702 14 to 11.
One goal, every nation. All eyes will be on the beautiful game as the world's greatest soccer spectacular takes center stage. Step onto the field with Hollywood bets and prepare to score massive wins. You could win a share of 2 million rand in cash and cars. Bet 10 rand or more on any soccer fixture, online or at your nearest branch. Feel the power, live the passion. Alagasha, bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp HELP to 076 675 0710.
Johannesburg is calling on Sunday, 26 July. Join thousands of Joburgers for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank. Walk the historic streets of the CBD, starting and finishing at Ellis Park, and celebrate cities on the rise, growing, evolving, and full of possibility. It's more than a walk. It's Josie coming together. Register now for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Standard Bank is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Good morning, Mzansi. It's a beautiful Wednesday. It's Thursday.
No.
TGIF, am I right?
Citroen Super Saturday is back. Yes. Test drive or buy any Citroen and stand to win a world-class rugby experience. South Africa versus New Zealand, 5 September. Double your entries with the all-new Citroen Basalt from 354,900 Rand with up to 40,000 Rand deal assist. Book at citroen.co.za. Runs till 30 June. T's and C's apply.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Katlahomabo is in studio. He's a co-host of World Cup Central, and he's a broadcaster that you know very well, a media personality, and they have this amazing show called World Cup Central. It's beautiful. It's not only looking at the stats, how many passes, although it encapsulates some of that, but it goes beyond the football pitch, fashion, culture, and everything else in between. And it's something that you do want to follow. And I'd suggest right away, just like I have done, you need to download your Prime Media Plus app in order for you to have access to this riveting World Cup special on World Cup Central. And he's joining us right now. Before the break, Katlaho had asked about our connection, our umbilical cord to the World Cup as South Africans.
You've just made that, you've taken that to a whole nother level. Before I answer the question, I must put my hand up. When we were referring to the Germany match, it was against Curaçao. I was in my Cabo Verde African celebration. Curaçao is the nation that swung against Germany. But yes, our connection, I think at the time, we certainly brought together what was the greatest World Cup that anybody had ever seen. Not even just to mention the iconic vuvuzela that made noise all around the world. That moment when Shabalala, go South Africa and go for all Africa by Peter Drury. It certainly, I think, showcased what the World Cup could be in a sense of unifying people. And I remember at the time as well, in 2010, I was working for one of the telecommunications partners, and my job was kind of hyping up the crowd outside of the stadium pre-match. And in those times, I would have fans from, let's say, an Argentina playing against the Uruguay. And while I was there, I'd be interviewing the guests to learn more about the culture, the fanatical nature of fans from these nations. You'd learn songs. They teach you words. They tell you about what football means to them. Which we get the chance to experience once again right now with the World Cup. And I think we certainly set the standard that the rest of the world is trying to emulate for South Africa.
And I suppose we're addicted to it. I mean, we can't do without it anymore because we have a reference point, and that is 2010. And 2010 is a big marker on the South African history book. It's a chapter on its own that cannot be ignored by history at all.
Yeah, the legacy lives on. I mean, to this day, people are still referring to Philip. Did Philip go with Bafana to Mexico, or did he stay behind? Quite clearly, he stayed behind because that too.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Where are we now? I mean, what are our chances?
Look, we are in a very precarious position right now. After losing 2-0 to Mexico, we face Czechia in our next match, which is tomorrow, kickoff at 7 p.m. It's a must-win match. Following that, our match against South Korea, two very difficult teams that present different challenges as well. The speed and the technical prowess, South Korea, the physicality and the tactical awareness, Czechia, all must be faced by Bafana and overcome in order for us to stand a chance. Look, if we win those two games, we pretty much put ourselves in a position where qualifying for the next round is pretty much guaranteed. But winning one, maybe drawing one with a high score margin, we might be one of the 8 third place teams that go through, because it's a bigger format for the 8 teams this year, into the round of 16. We've never historically made it out of the group stage.
Oh, wow.
This would be a massive achievement for Hugo Bros and Bafana. And I think we've shown ourselves worthy of the call. Our qualification into the World Cup was on merit. It wasn't, we weren't sitting there, last minute calculator, pi squared. If that one minus one goal, and then, heavy breathing.
Yeah.
We qualified. And so I think we deserve the opportunity for the boys to really show up and show that they are there to compete, not just to participate. I think that's what most people are disappointed with our first match showing. We came there with a 5 at the back defenders against a Mexico that clearly wanted to run over us because they remember what that roar of fans was when Shabalala scored against them in 2010.
Payback.
What a payback.
Payback it was. Katlego, you've built a very successful career across television, entertainment, and live broadcasting generally. What excited you most about stepping into this space? Because it looks a little bit different, but you are adaptable, you're adjustable. But what's so appealing about this space for you?
So something that a lot of people might not know about me is that sport was a huge part of my life. Growing up, it defined me quite a bit. In times when I was young, growing up and finding myself outside of my age group circles, sport was always how I found my way in. I remember when I went to my first Model C multiracial school. The first thing that happened in January, we usually have our athletics trials that determine who will be running for the school. And I had gotten into the school in grade 4. Right? And so, as you can imagine, there were 3 years prior where a certain hierarchy was established. Okay, right, Tebo, and then Karabo, and then Tato is the one that are going to be winning the races. I get in there first year, I become number 1. Fastest sprinter in my age group. And I realized that sport can really elevate one in a community. And so my love for sport then grew from athletics to a bit of football, cricket, rugby, hockey, and the sporting codes that were offered. And so this opportunity for me really allows me to live my sporting passion, to celebrate like a fan, to lose my mind in energy and the ecstasy of it. Because every 4 years, we wait for this momentous occasion to arrive, to celebrate with our friends, to cry with our friends at 2 o'clock in the morning. Habafana Ijiwa. And then to still also hold each other, be like, we'll be okay.
Yeah. Come what may.
Come on.
We'll be okay. So if someone isn't a hardcore football fan like myself and they're not deep into it, but they love the idea that, okay, Bafana is there, I'll buy a shirt from wherever and
you should already have yours by now.
What's going on? I do. So why should they still tune into the World Cup Central?
Look, World Cup Central is this beautiful mix of, if you can imagine, this high-end beautiful bar.
Yeah.
But they like in a newsroom. We wanna look a little bit like you, Kari Sutu minus the tie. So we're serious about automat. But at the end of the day, we want to create the kind of conversation where you around the water cooler with your friends can link up on, and you feel like you have a voice to contribute, because you do, by virtue of just being a football fan, by virtue of you having an interest in the beautiful game. And so we are pulling all of those people together into a room and saying, come and sit with us, come and chat with us, come and banter with us. You are very, very much included in this conversation.
How do I tune in? Now that I had Katlego on 702 speaking to Tabo, and I'm like, I've missed out. How do I tune in? How do I watch you?
It's very, very easy. So you download the Prime Media Plus app on your phone, or you can go to primemediaplus.com, which is our website, and over there you get a very, very easy guide. Under the video content, you'll find the video on demand content. We've already shot our first episode. Today we're going into episode 2, covering the last week's worth of content, and of course there's so much more there that you can also find and enjoy on Prime Media Plus. Fantastic shows. We really are putting our foot into it. Cooking.
And I'm assuming also for the diehard fans, it's not just for people like me, but for the diehard fans, there's also so much in there for them. Different perspectives that they would have otherwise not entertained. You give them that stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, on the one hand, we have John T. Mark, who is the chief football writer at The Citizen. So he brings forth those hard facts. But what I would love about it is that those hard facts are then interpreted from a perspective of a professional who's been there in the room, who's been there pitch side, in Amanda Dlamini, former Banyana captain, and she's able to offer us those perspectives. One of the questions I asked her, take Lamine Yamal, for instance, or even Erlebohile Mofokeng, who's got this pressure heaped on his shoulders, not just because of the jersey, but the expectations of South Africa. What would it take for a young man like that to be successful? And then you get to understand from a footballer's perspective. I'm talking, break it down. Is it all about the people you have around you? Is it the coaching staff? Is it you? And you get a really beautiful picture of what it's like to be in that position. And we hope to bring that with a lot of color, with a lot of fun, banter, and humor as well.
Well, just to put you in a corner a little bit because you're so comfortable. Scoreline for tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Second game. Bafana versus Czechia. Must-win game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a war of attrition to begin with because
yes,
and then at some point it's going to have to click. Someone's going to have to let it go.
Yes.
And then 2-1 to who? Bafana. Why?
Listen, I'm going to hold you to it. You know, I wish there was some sort of a wager of sorts because I want to hold you accountable.
I make deals every day of my life. I know this business. Put it down here.
Every
Put
day
it on
of
the
your life.
table.
I love the fluent words of that one. Katlehoma Boy, it's been a fantastic time here with you. I enjoyed every second of it. And tomorrow on the show, I'll be holding you accountable and we'll be watching. And people must just go on the app, Prime Media Plus. Just make sure that you catch the show. Don't miss out on this great fun. Lovely having you with us, man. All the best to you. Katlehoma Boy, co-host of World Cup Central and broadcaster, 2 minutes to 11.
Attention! Are you 18 to 30 years of age? Is your bedroom giving basic? It's time for a transformation. Cashbuild's Pimp My Room is back. Selected contestants receive 10,000 Rand for a room makeover, plus amazing advice from our expert partners. The winner walks away with a big prize of up to 60,000 Rand to finish their renovations. Follow Cashbuild on social media to get one step closer to your dream bedroom. Cashbuild.
Every great business starts with a problem. One you may have experienced yourself. Nedbank Business Ignite 2026 is looking for entrepreneurs who've turned that pain into purpose and build solutions that truly make a difference. If your business is generating between 1 million Rand and 20 million Rand, you could get the funding, mentorship, and support you need to grow. With Nedbank as your partner, plus access to Simply Biz to help you scale sustainably. So, if you're solving real problems and ready to take your business further, visit igniteyourbusiness.co.za or primemediaplus.com and enter today.
Keep moving through 6 a.m. call times, the rain, dirt tracks, and moving through tight deadlines. Because you move with purpose, from the first stop to the final drop. The Hino 700 truck tractor comes standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty and advanced safety features tailored to your industry. The Hino 700 is built to fuel your business's progress. Hino, all the way.
The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people, for the people on Sunday, 26 July. Babize bonke. But why don't you get a taste of what Walk the Talk will be like? This Sunday, Josie My Josie is having another Main Street Sundays, taking over Marshalltown and flipping the script on how Josie moves. One whole street in the heart of the city, closed to cars, just people, vibes, and that Main Street magic. 702 Soulful Sunday with Kenny and Pushaza will also be there, broadcasting live from Main Street Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go to josiemyjosie.com for all the details and grab your free tickets, and let's show the city what happens when the streets belong to the people. And what's more, you can also register for the Walk the Talk at Main Street Sundays, or enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Joburg.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The Sherwood Community Hall has been turned into an active crime with police using stun grenades to disperse an unruly crowd, and this is in Durban. A group of undocumented Malawian nationals has been camping at the Sherwood site for days now, demanding to return to their home country. We cross now live to Nhlanhla Mabaso, who is at the scene. Nhlanhla, what's happening there right now?
Piece of chaos. A sporadic protest emerged from the group demanding to be taken back to Malawi. However, by law, they need to first be taken to a court of law where they should make an admission that they are in the country illegally to obtain deportation documents. But some of them thought government is instead taking them to Lindela Center for Refugees. This led to them closing off the streets, leading police to firing stun grenades and using shields to push the crowds off. Even now, sisters, you can hear in the background singing and chanting, saying that they're demanding buses to be taken home. A number of law enforcement agencies have been called in to maintain order as the situation continues to escalate. For Eyewitness News, I'm reporting live at the Sherwood Community Centre in Durban.
This is a developing story. We'll give you more updates in our next bulletins. The cost of living is rising a little faster than a month ago, with inflation climbing to 4.5% in May from 4% in April. Statistics South Africa released the figures this morning, showing that the biggest drivers were housing, utilities, transport and insurance, as well as financial services. The price for goods such as food and everyday products also increased faster than they did in April. Says Patrick Kelly.
This is the highest rate of increase since July 2024, when it was 4.6%. The inflation surge was largely driven by fuel price increases. The fuel index recorded its second consecutive large monthly increase, leaping by 14.3% to reach an annual rise of 28.7%.
Former DA leader John Steenhuisen is to be recalled from his job as Agriculture Minister as new party leader Jordan Hill-Lewis wields his power to make his first changes. Steenhuisen is set to be replaced by Willie Okamp, who is currently serving in the Forestry, Fisheries and Environment portfolio. It will, however, be up to President Cyril Ramaphosa to officially make the appointments, as Steenhuisen is set to be demoted to the portfolio of Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition. Lindsay Dentlinker has more.
Announcing the changes today, DA leader Jordan Hill-Lewis says they will strengthen the DA's contribution to government and give better effect to the mandate received from its 3.5 million voters 2 years ago. Hill-Lewis says Minister Willie Okamp's immediate mandate will be to resolve the ongoing legal proceedings related to foot and mouth disease. Since the outbreak of the disease, Steenhuisen has been in running battles with agricultural and farmers groups over his handling of the situation and taken to court over the department's vaccination campaign. Okamp is a farmer and joined cabinet last year when Steenhuisen sacked Dion George as Minister of Fisheries, Forestry and Environment. Hill-Lewis has now asked President Cyril Ramaphosa to appoint Western Cape MEC David Mania to that portfolio to replace Okamp.
These changes reflect my responsibility as leader of the DA to ensure that our team in government consistently meets the high standards South Africans expect from us.
Hill-Lewis is also requesting several changes be made to Deputy Minister portfolios. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
And G7 leaders are expected to discuss the security risks posed by AI and social media on the last day of their summit in France. The three-day summit of the leaders of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Britain and the US has focused intensely on Trump's deal to end the war with Iran and efforts to pressure Russia into brokering peace with Ukraine. But today, the digital sphere will take the center stage, with some European G7 members wanting more security in moves that have irked the United States. Gold is trading at $4,325.44 an ounce. The rand is at 16.22 to the dollar, 21.76 to the pound, 18.83 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $78.36 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South. This is between Samrin Avenue and Brackfontein Road. This is due to an accident, so please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N3 North, we've got delays right at the Gilulis interchange due to roadworks.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 18 and 19 degrees. The developing story this hour, the Sherwood Community Hall in Durban has turned into an active crime scene, with police using stun grenades to disperse an unruly crowd.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all.
That's what makes this one so special.
In 702, Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
Live
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
And 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
6 after 11 on 702. Great having you with us. My name is Thabo Sholemashau. I am here on behalf of Clement, who's not. So I'm in his stead up until 12 o'clock. I'm happy to be with you. It's always great spending time with you. I love how sharp your criticisms are, your articulation on issues. You show us perspective that we would otherwise miss. I love your contributions. I may differ with it, but I love it nonetheless because that's what discourse is all about. If you've missed it, in the past half hour, I was having a chat with a brilliant broadcaster, amazing individual, just a great human being altogether. Katleho Maboe, who is hosting the World Cup special here on Prime Media. It's just a beautiful show. It's about the World Cup and it covers almost everything else that you need to know. On the pitch, off the pitch, all else that you need to know about the World Cup. Make sure that you download your app, your Prime Media Plus app, or you just go to primemediaplus.com and in order for you to catch up on the show. John T. Mark is also there as a presenter. He's a veteran football journalist. Amanda Dlamini also there. And of course, Katla Homaboy. And I had a lovely chat with him. All of that is on our podcast, by the way, on primemediaplus.com. So make sure that you catch up with that. But 8 after 11, we take a look at a very interesting topic now on Listener's Choice. People's relationship with AI. How do you relate with it?
Let's walk the talk.
702.
You'd remember when AI burst onto the scene a little over 2 years ago. Many people thought it was just something that would come and go. It was new and a bit unfamiliar, and some feared it. Some still do, but a lot also dismissed it and said, this thing will come and go. Fast forward to today, and artificial intelligence has quietly become a companion of sorts. It's an advisor to all of us, a tutor, a therapist, and for some, perhaps even sometimes more than that. But what does our growing reliance on AI say about us as human beings? And I would argue that that reliance is growing. Of course, it has had its mishaps, its challenges, its glitches, but so many people are reliant on AI. Some use it to do their work. Some use it for sending out emails. Some use it for different stuff. Legal advice. You have an issue that you need clarification on, or you need to respond formally to a lawyer. You'd pretend that you are an amazingly intelligent person by using legalese through AI and send and respond almost efficiently to the lawyer, whilst we know that you are not that smart, but it helps you nonetheless. It's a crutch that some have used effectively. And we have asked Johan Steyn, founder of AI for Business and an expert therein, to come and help us with that discussion. Johan, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning to you too. Thanks for having me.
I mean, how remarkable is this moment, Johan, that 3 years ago, none of us would have imagined that millions of people would be so reliant on AI every single day. This is something to remark on, isn't it?
It is, Tabu. Look, AI has been around for about 60 years. People don't always realize it.
Yeah.
Yes, the concept it's been referring to, and I often speak about the pre and the post ChatGPT world. Look, we as humans have been tool makers for probably about 320,000 years. And we are relying on the tools we make. We use tools to make other tools at Tabu. It's the first time in our history that the tools we make, AI, can now make tools by itself. And that is the scary aspect. And it all goes back to what we as humans resonate with it, how we use it. So I think this is a lovely topic to talk about.
Yeah. And I mean, it has evolved so rapidly, almost so quickly. Just when we thought this thing will just throw you off completely. I remember my first time using it, I was battling with literature review. I think it's chapter 2. And I had used AI just to get the structure and to familiarize myself with what was required for my schoolwork. And what it gave me, it produced fake references that could not be found, but notwithstanding that, the structure was amazing. How has it evolved thus far? Is it becoming better and better every day?
It will never outpace common sense, Tarbert. and you've mentioned hallucinations, and we've seen it even when was it in April, when our government released the AI national policy for review, and then they pulled it back saying there was some hallucinated references. Look, I use it like probably 9 or 10 hours a day. My whole life is based on it. My whole business runs on it. Tabo, I'm a one-man show.
Yeah.
I'm a consultant. I've got 7 new employees that I've built over the last 6 months. They are all AI agents. They work for me. They don't give me any HR issues. They don't go on leave, you know. But they make
Basic
mistakes.
income. Yeah.
Yes. So every piece of research I do, or every email I write to a client, and the AI is amazing to help me. In my view, about 20% of the time, irrespective of the platform you use, it gets it wrong. So you can never, because you are super busy or super lazy, just copy and paste it and hope for the best. It makes mistakes, but if you learn how to use it responsibly, if you still use your own mind and your own expertise, it is an incredible tool to use. But I think to the topic of our chat today, Tabu, I'm a big Anthropic Claude fan, and I use ChatGPT and all the others. But if it shuts down today, I'm in deep nonsense, because I don't know if I can do my work without the AI anymore.
Listen, you preempted me, because I was going to ask about the level of reliance. How reliant are we on AI currently? And I had remarked to my colleague, Bongani Bengwa, earlier on, as I was having an exchange with him, that there are some media houses that use AI to fine-tune the articles that we read in their various platforms on a day-to-day basis. How reliant have we become on AI?
We are completely reliant on Tabu. I don't think it's some media houses. I think it's everyone. It doesn't mean it's fake. I mean, it helps me when I write articles because English, like with you and many others, is not my first language.
Sure.
It helps me structure it. It helps me, obviously, with the spelling and grammar. It's still my thing. I don't just put like one line into the prompt and hope for the best. I do extensive research before I publish. But look, our whole economic system globally, our banking system, is reliant on technology, and it has been for decades. I think now that it's easier to use AI for us as, call it, normal people, non-experts, we are becoming more and more reliant. And I don't think it's a bad thing if it makes you better, more productive, if it helps you make more money, if it helps you add more value to your customers. It's a good thing. I do worry about our cognitive abilities, Tabo. I think it is declining. There's a lot of research showing it. I'll give you an example. If you asked me 10 years ago, what is 235 minus 28? I would answer you immediately.
Yeah.
There's no way I can do it now, because it's not a skill anymore. My phone can do it for me. But now that brings us to our kids. I've got a 12-year-old in primary school. Our education system globally is not preparing them for the future, where we have to learn stuff that we memorize and then we repeat it in the exam and then we forget the next day. I actively, Tabo, encourage my kid to use ChatGPT for his homework. I don't think he should learn this nonsense, repetitive stuff. But what we don't teach them, and parents should, of course, and hopefully teachers do, is critical thinking, common sense, ethically and safely using AI, and being a good person, help other people. I often say, and I'll just stop with this part, are you a net contributor to people or a net consumer? Do you actually mean something to people, whether you use AI or not? Does it make us stupid in a certain sense? I think it does. I'll pause there for now.
Yeah. I'm going to encourage our listeners to participate and jump in and not send their voice notes or text messages using AI. Let them genuinely type out messages on 0727021702 or your voice note on 07270217, or just call us on 011-883-0702. My guest is Johan Steyn, founder of AI for Business, and he's an expert in that field. And we are asking about your relationship with AI thus far. How has it been? How often do you use it? Are you even aware that you can extend it to various areas of your life? And how has it benefited you? How has it challenged you? Please share that with us. I'd love to hear from you. 17 minutes after 11 o'clock.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
Musician Sipho Hotsticks Mabuse, a moment to reflect on passing of Abdullah Ibrahim.
Abdullah's passing is the saddest moment, particularly that it happens on the eve of the commemoration of the 16th of June. And he's always said to me, we always speak about getting this thing together.
Yes.
Let's do it, Sipho. And lo and behold, John, Abdullah is gone, and the opportunity to make music with him has passed me by.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
The 702 Jersey My Jersey Walk the Talk is calling on you to walk with the people, for the people on Sunday, 26 July. Babize bonke. Why don't you get a taste of what that walk the talk will be like? This Sunday, Jersey My Jersey is having another Main Street Sundays, taking over Marshalltown and flipping the script on how Jersey moves. One whole street in the heart of the city, closed to cars, just people, vibes, and that Main Street magic. 702 Soulful Sunday with Kenny and Pushaza will also be there, broadcasting live from Main Street Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go to jerseymyjersey.com for all the details and grab your free tickets. And let's show the city what happens when the streets belong to the people. And what's more, you can also register for Walk the Talk at Main Street Sundays, or enter now on primemediaplus.com and get ready for the 702 Jersey My Jersey Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Joburg.
Sure, they aced it. The Championships Wimbledon experience with the Mzansi Advantage is back at Amex Tennistown Monte Casino between 11 and 12 July 2026. Enjoy VIP hospitality, the ultimate big screen experience, a kids fun zone, and so much more. Buy your tickets now on Howler and get 50% off on limited tickets when you use your Amex card. Tennis is better with Amex. American Express Cards is operated under license in South Africa by Nedbank, a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. Cascading. What does it mean? So when I say cascading jackpots, I mean that on the last draw of every month, if there's no one in South Africa that wins with 6 numbers, we go looking for a winner with 5 numbers. And if no one wins with 5 numbers, we go looking for a winner with 4 numbers, and so on and so forth and nice. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizekai.
Winter Survival Kit 101. 7 blankets, check. 4 jerseys, check. 3 pairs of socks, check. 2 pairs of shorts, check. Or hear us out, you could just visit Chamberlain. Join us for our winter savings promotion from 18 June to 12 July and get everything you need to make winter a little warmer. From heaters, firewood and anthracite to geyser blankets, paint and insulation. Plus friendly advice, helpful service and jog dog food for only 398 Rand. Less shivering, more living, much better plan for the whole family. Chamberlain, famous for hardware since 1903.
Your neighbor's geyser burst. Now they're arguing about what's technically covered. Turns out it was the geyser, not the damaged ceiling. When yours burst, you called Suntom's 24/7 emergency line and a plumber was on the way. No debates. You insured nice, not twice. Get free home emergency services with your building cover online or call 0860 444 444 to get a quote. Suntom, this is freedom. Santam is an authorized FSP, a licensed non-life insurer, and a controlling company for its group companies.
My name is Richard Sutton, and I'm the host of the podcast Shift Happens. This podcast is about you and the seasons of growth, change, and transformation that shape who you become. My guests are people who have walked long, difficult roads and along the way developed the tools and skills they needed not just to survive, but to thrive and make a real impact in the world. So if you're feeling stuck, uncertain, or searching for what's next, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Shift Happens. Now streaming on PrimeMediaPlus.com, the Prime Media Plus app, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Johan Steyn is my guest. He's a founder of AI for Business and expert in the area. And we are speaking about people's relationship with AI. How is it playing a role in your daily life? How has it changed your life? Or if you're completely oblivious to AI's existence, share with us on 072 702 1702. I have been neglecting some voice notes. I think it's fair to go straight to them.
Good morning, Tawo. This is Sim. Tawo, there's nothing wrong with relying on AI. As long as you're using the relevant, the appropriate AI tool for a specific purpose. For example, if you want to do research, you can use Perplexity, it's good research. If you want to develop software, you can use Grok or you can use Microsoft Copilot. People use these tools because they want to cut down on costs. For example, I'm building software right now. I'm using Copilot as an assistant because I don't have money to hire a software developer to help me with the project. So I'm using Copilot. I'm saving a whole lot of money, and this is just how you need to identify which AI tool is appropriate. If you want to do research, you can use Perplexity as a site, and then you can still go back and verify whatever it is that it has told you. And then if you use software, you want to develop software like myself, you can use Copilot. There's a whole lot of other tools. If you want to do art, there's an AI for art. So it's all about using appropriate AI for specific purpose. And then yeah, that's just how it goes.
072 702 1702. I know that there was another one from Mongezi. Maybe we'll come to it. Should we come to it now, Abel? Let's go straight to it.
Hi, Tabo. It's Mongezi in Joburg. I think one of the things that comes up or isn't brought up enough about AI is the difference between what you get free and what you get paid. A lot of people are using the free version and not the paid version. And even in the paid versions of AI, what I'm interested in finding out is how advanced it then becomes if you are using a paid Perplexity, ChatGPT, Claude, and all these others. And then, of course, the level of agentic AI, how you then build some of these agents to then go into, to then delve more and more into subject matter to build on them. So I think it's that the free versus paid and how advanced the paid one becomes and how reliable it then becomes when it's paid and learns more and more about you, the user, and the projects that you work on. It's Mongezi in Joburg. Thanks. Great show.
Thanks very much for that, Mongezi. 25 after 11. Johan Steyn, your thoughts?
Oh, two great comments, Tabu, and they dovetail. So let me just comment on that. So exactly the first comment about which tool is good for what. Some like Perplexity, which was mentioned, is my go-to tool for research. It's very good with finding citations, academic work. It's very good for building a business case, market research. ChatGPT for me is great with idea forming, brainstorming. Look, I'm an evangelist of Claude because it's really such a powerful platform. But the only platform I pay for is Claude. But I use all of the rest, and I often would give them all the same prompt, and then copy and paste what they say into the other platforms to see which eventually gives me the best answer. So
sure.
Copilot was mentioned, Tabu, if you work in a corporate, and because what you don't want is these open platforms where you don't know where your data is going. So for instance, as good as ChatGPT is, never put in your salary or your pay slip or your customer information into it. I think Microsoft Copilot is the go-to tool that most big corporates use because it's safe to use. And that brings us then to this free and paid and agentic AI that I want to quickly comment on. My recommendation is always pay for one tool only, especially if you're a business, because before you know it, your licensing cost increases so significantly that you get a shock at the end of the month. Also, the people.
Apologies, Johan. Just very quickly, out of time interest, share quickly about the costs, if you will, a bit briefly.
Yeah. Look, most tools are around about $12 to $20 per tool or per seat.
Yes.
And they are powerful, but don't give it to everyone in your business. Give it to maybe head of HR, head of finance, etc. And then just quickly, these agents, it's becoming more and more easy to build an agent, which is something that does work for you. And I've built a number of them on Monday mornings. I've got research on AI. I've got research on my customers. If you, and you don't, and I'm going to just close with this, maybe, Toby, you don't have to be technical. Don't be lazy. Use common sense. And if you don't know what to tell the AI to do, ask the AI what you should tell it to do. Brainstorm with it. Everyone can use this stuff.
Fantastic. Quick text message came from, it's not signed here. It said, let me go straight to that one. I think it was Matabo saying something very interesting that, oh yeah, here we go. Apologies. It says, hi Tabo, I'm not an AI denialist. I use it for work to analyze and make sense of data for decision making. I, however, think humans are taking it too far. For example, having a love affair or girlfriend or boyfriend with it boggles my mind. How are we taking something as emotional as love and relationships to an emotional machine? Johan?
Oh, look, it's a huge topic. It is so relevant. A lot of people globally are finding solace in AI. They are alone. They are, like many of us, we, especially post-COVID, we have mental issues.
Yeah.
We are lonely. We are no longer in our tribes. We live far from our family. So it's so easy to rely on AI. And remember, AI will always be your best friend, will always tell you what you need to hear. And this love affair with AI, it sounds so funny. It's a huge topic. So I think it's a relevant point that your listener mentioned there. Let's stay human. Let's do good for other people. Go out of the house now and then. Go do some soup kitchen work with your church. Don't just use ChatGPT all the time.
Yeah. Johan, how do people reach you?
My website is AI for Business. So it's AIFOR business.net. I love it when people reach out. LinkedIn is there, my email. So I love to learn from people. So happy for anyone to reach out, Tabu.
Johan, I loved chatting to you, and I'm hoping that we can chat again in the near future. Absolutely. Really appreciate it. Johan Steyn is founder of AI for Business and also an expert in the area. We were asking about your relationship with AI. Exactly 11:30. Bailey Dlamini will give us the very latest on Eyewitness News headlines. Welcome. Good morning, Bailey.
Thanks, Tabo. Good morning. Police have used stun grenades to disperse an unruly crowd of migrants at the Sherwood Community Hall in Durban. A group of undocumented Malawian nationals has been camping at the site for days now, demanding to return to their home country. A number of law enforcement agencies have been called to the scene this morning to maintain order as the situation continues to escalate. The cost of living is rising a little faster than a month ago, with inflation climbing to 4.5% in May from 4% in April. Statistics South Africa released the figures this morning, showing that the biggest drivers were housing, utilities, transport and insurance, as well as financial services. The price for goods such as food and everyday products also increased faster than they did in April. And members of the South African Legal Workers Union have embarked on a 2-day nationwide protest. They are picketing outside Legal Aid South Africa's offices in Bloemfontein today over what they describe as deteriorating working conditions and a lack of resources. The union has accused the Department of Justice of implementing budget cuts and freezing critical posts. Well, those are the headlines. This EWN and more at midday or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, traveling in Parktown, we've got a major accident seen on the M1 North. It happened right after Jan Smuts Avenue. It's causing heavy traffic volumes. There's also queuing traffic on the M1 South towards the scene. Please be on the lookout there and approach with care. While traveling on the M2 West towards Amalgam, queuing traffic between the Crown Interchange and Main Reef Road. There's also slow-moving traffic reported in Bedford View right at the Giluli's Interchange. That's due to roadworks. If you are heading towards the OR Tambo Airport, do expect delays on the R21 South. A major accident seen there. It happened after Atlas Road. It is causing heavy traffic volumes. Please try to avoid. You can still use the N12 West and then turn off at the R21 through Griffiths Road to try and avoid that backlog. That's your last update from me, Amo Ramela. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The beeping machines, the hospital smells, the moments of fear. And all that remains is what matters most.
Dad's home!
Because recovery isn't about the procedure or the paperwork. It's about getting back to the people and places that matter to you. Bonitas, Medical Aid for South Africa. Voted #1 medical aid in the Ask Africa Orange Index Awards for the 2nd year running. Visit bonitas.co.za and find your plan.
Keep moving through 6 a.m. call times, the rain, dirt tracks, and moving through tight deadlines. Because you move with purpose, from the first stop to the final drop. The Hino 700 truck tractor comes standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty and advanced safety features tailored to your industry. The Hino 700 is built to fuel your business's progress. Hino, all the way.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS Legal to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
It's your last chance to enter. Nedbank Business Ignite on 702 is closing entries soon. This year, we're celebrating entrepreneurs who've turned personal challenges into businesses that make a real difference. Catch 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa every morning to meet the finalists and hear their inspiring stories. Go to igniteyourbusiness.co.za or primemediaplus.com to enter. You could win 200,000 rands and recognition your business deserves. T's and C's apply. See money differently. Nedbank, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Indeed, 25 minutes to 12 o'clock. Clement is not here. My name is Thabo Shola Mashao. We're together for the next few minutes or so. I'm not moving furniture and I'm keeping things just the way you are used to them. And that includes features that this show have and that happen to be your favorite. This one, I really know that you love it. It's called the sharing space. And I have an interesting email that was sent to Clement. And as usual, how the sharing space works is that a listener shares an email with Clement about their particular pickle problem, and they request your sage counsel, your astute advice on an issue that they may be facing. So today, what are we looking at? 24 minutes to 12.
The Sharing Space
on the Clement Manyathela Show.
702.
So Clement got this email and the producers gave it to me earlier on. And this is where I need your help because I can't do it on my own. This particular listener needs your assistance as far as getting to the best possible outcome from their particular pickle. And it reads as thus. Hello, 702. I would like to remain anonymous for this. Many of them would remain anonymous, of course. I'm a 25-year-old lady who has been working in consulting for the past 2 years as a young professional, trying to climb the corporate ladder. And on the outside, everything looks like it's going well. It's a good job, a respected firm, and my family is proud of me because of this work. I've been able to help at home, renovate parts of the house, and support my parents in ways I always wanted to. In many ways, I feel like I'm finally giving back. But what nobody realizes or what nobody really sees is what this job is doing to me behind the scenes. The hours are brutal. I'm talking 13 hours, sometimes 14, even 16-hour days. I go to the office, come back home, and I'm still working late into the night just to keep up. It's reached a point where I can feel it affecting my mental health. I'm constantly exhausted, constantly stretched, constantly trying to keep up with a pace that doesn't seem sustainable anymore. I started thinking about leaving, or at least taking a job that pays less but gives me more of my life back. When I raised it at home, it was not well received. At first, it was resistance, then silence. Now it's worse. It feels like I'm only spoken to when it's payday or when my money is needed. And now I'm stuck with so many questions. I don't know how to answer. Do I stay in the job that is slowly breaking me just so I can continue providing for my family the way they expect me to? Do I walk away from my financial stability in exchange for my mental health and risk disappointing the people who are most important to me? If I do leave, does it make me selfish for choosing myself for once? Or if I stay, am I slowly sacrificing my future well-being for approval that only seems to be tied to what I can give? I honestly don't know anymore. What should I do in a situation like this? Any advice? Well, this comes from Anonymous, and feel free to venture your thoughts, your views, your musings on what Anonymous has thrown onto the table. It's a very disturbing problem, as you might have heard in my reading of Anonymous' email. Anonymous claims that they are working very hard and they're doing all that they can do. And I don't know why I'm getting an impression that it's a she. Maybe she mentioned it, but she's working very hard and a 16-hour day at times, from 13 to 16-hour day. It's hard. It's back-breaking work. It's very difficult on her. She's expressed this to her family that she wants to quit and look for something that may not be as well paying as this job, but it may give her back her sanity, a bit of rest, mental health, and all comfort that she needs currently. But her family, thinking of all the benefits that they are deriving from this job that Anonymous does, her family is not taking that very well. Her family is saying, keep working. We love the money that you're getting. You are helping out at home. We are living a better life thanks to you. So if you quit, I mean, how are we going to get all these things that you're giving us? Chill a bit. It will get better. And she is saying every single day it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. And now she wants to quit. But her family has now stopped speaking to her because of this imminent decision that she's about to take. They only speak to her when they need something. at the end of the month when they need money. Other than that, they don't even communicate with her because they're trying to threaten her not to quit. What must she do? 011-883-0702. That's a number to dial. Please help Anonymous. 011-883-0702. Please give us a call on that number. Alternatively, give us your voice note. Send your voice note or your text message to 072-702-1702.
You hear that? That's the sound of business execution finally visible. No more chasing people and reports. No more disconnected systems. No more guessing if our business is performing or not. iStratGo connects strategy, people, performance, and day-to-day work into one clear software platform, so leaders can see what's working, what's not, and where to focus. Because when execution is visible, everything runs better. Book a demo on istratgo.com. istratgo.com.
Here's the thing about insurance. You only find out how good it is when it's time to claim. With Outsurance, you've got that peace of mind. The Ombudsman, an independent body that rules on complaints, confirmed in their 2025 annual report that Outsurance had the lowest overturned ratio of complaints. Isn't it time you switch to the insurer where you always get something out? Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Today, licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Relax. You're okay. Your new Volvo plug-in hybrid will get you there and back again. And there again. And back again. Because you're at least 80 kilometers of electric range away from having to worry about petrol or the battery, which comes with an 8-year warranty. But it will keep you going for much, much longer than that. Test drive a Volvo plug-in hybrid.
FNB Private has just been named South Africa's best private bank at the prestigious Euromoney Global Private Banking Awards 2026. And to unpack what that means, 702 is in conversation with FNB Private for a 3-part series exploring the ideas, values, strategies behind one of the banking's highest honors. Each week, John Pullman goes deeper into the award itself, sustainability and investment, with the experts driving FNB Private's vision forward. Catch 702 in conversation with FNB Private every Thursday on Afternoon Drive with John Pullman, FNB Private, your long-term wealth partner.
The Sharing Space
on the Clement Manyathela Show.
702.
Sharing Space, it's now your turn to give some advice, to become a psychologist, to become a sage, to become a pastor, to become a rabbi, to become anyone who is in that space who is supposed to help with great advice. 011-883-0702. From Pretoria, Khomotso is calling. Morning, Khomotso. KG, Khomotso, morning.
Morning, how are you, sir?
I'm free, man. How are you?
Good, sir. Yes, morning, how are you?
I am free. How are you, Khomotso?
Good. Yes, man, I would like to comment on the... Yes, I'm good. I'm fantastic. And you?
I'm still okay.
Can you hear me?
I'm still okay. I think we're missing each other. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. Yes, no, I would like to comment on this, on the lady who has a situation. Yes, there are sayings that say your health comes first, and you as a person, as an individual, you must prioritize yourself. In a sense that nothing comes before you, because health-wise, whatever situation that she is experiencing might have an effect in future, whereby being after money is not always the solution. It's not always the solution. She must weigh options that can help her going forward, not any other person, because it might frustrate, the work situation might frustrate her, and maybe to an extent of maybe depressing her. We had a situation last week where a lady was asking to be released to go home, and then they refused, and then the person just fell, and then she passed on because of whatever situation.
Sure.
The employer didn't seem to be caring, because immediately a person tells you that I'm not feeling good.
Yes.
Put yourself into that shoes.
Khomotso, thanks very much for that. I hope Anonymous is listening and taking your advice accordingly. 14 minutes to 12, 011-883-0702. But let's go to some of your voice notes that have come through on 072-702-1702.
Hi, Africa. I feel for this person and the fact that the people that she is providing for will always demand and demand and demand, irrespective of the fact that she is selling her soul and her mental health to be able to provide those things. That's the unfortunate dynamics of our society and family. If you give, they expect more and more. Whether you have any health problems or whether you are, psychologically and spiritually down, that just the demand of what you can provide is what they will expect. Unfortunately, very few people appreciate or will even meet her halfway and advise her appropriately. That's also Anonymous, Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Greetings, 702 listeners. My brother, you only have one life. You don't have a spare life. And if the family is able to ignore or avoid her for their own benefits, then she's as good as being alone. I'm saying to her or him to choose her, to choose themselves. That's it. If leaving the job will make her sane or feel better, then she should do that. She should not think about the second person or the third person, whether it's a mother or it's a father or it's a niece. It doesn't matter. She must choose herself. Otherwise, bazomwaba.
Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah.
This is Hadifeli's preview, Commander's Morning.
And Hadifeli was merely saying, if I were to translate at the end of his comments, that they will bury her, meaning that she may succumb mortally, at least, to the physical strains that she is sustaining from her back-breaking laborious efforts. So that's one. If you've just joined us, welcome. We are on the sharing space. And we were just looking at a very interesting email from one of our listeners, a 25-year-old who's climbing the corporate ladder, working extremely hard, family proud of her, but she's working up to 16 hours a day trying to put things together in this professional environment, but it's starting to take a toll on her mentally and otherwise. But a family, after being consulted, does not take kindly to her wanting to quit her job. A family is saying enough is enough, don't quit, but stick around, because the money that they are paying you is allowing us to live a great life that we've always wanted to live. She is saying that her family is a bit angry at her for even suggesting this. They are not even talking to her anymore except when it's payday, and she's had enough and she wants to quit. She doesn't know what to do, and she was asking for your advice. Hence, I asked you to call 011-883-0702. There are families that are somehow inconsiderate to their daughters, to their sons, to their loved ones, where they expect you to give all that you can and more, compromising your well-being, compromising perhaps even your own family. They want you to lay your life in front of them so that they can walk on you back and forth. As long as they are comfortable, everything else can fall apart. Your family is not of any significance to them. As long as they're getting money from you, that's okay. And at times, We chase after that love without even noticing that we are chasing for validation, we are chasing for acceptance, we are chasing for embracing. You see it as contributing to your family and giving wholeheartedly, sacrificing for your family, whilst it is some form of slavery which they use for you to always try to reach out for their unattainable affection. I don't know what say you on this. 011-883-0702. Let's go to a text message that came through from Anonymous. It says, Anonymous must look for something to invest in whilst she has the money, something that can help her get a similar income without working herself to the bone. And feel free to share more with us on 072-702-1702.
Hi, Tabo. Anonymous is clearly being taken advantage of by her family, and if anyone is being selfish, it is them for not understanding that her health is suffering. And yes, a lot of people do not see mental health as health, but this is her life. The only person who seems to care about her is herself. So I say to Anonymous, you do what is best for you. And I think a broader topic that we need to one day discuss is this definition of selfish, because caring for yourself is not being selfish.
Hi, Tabo. It's Vince in Krugersdorp. Look, man, I think the issue of anonymous is very serious. And mental health these days is one of the most neglected pandemic. We want what we want, forgetting to take care of our mental health. So I think Anonymous may not quit her job now, but must start looking for a job, because finding a job in South Africa is difficult. So she must start looking for a job like she's unemployed. She must submit her CVs like she's unemployed, and then eventually she will get a job. And then after that, she can quit her job. So it's about her, not her family. So if something happens to her, who's going to take care of her children if she has children? So it's about her.
Hi, Anonymous. It's Ndeveleng over here in Pretoria. The way your family is putting themselves first, I think it's about time you do the same thing about you. Have a very calculative exit for yourself and make sure that you are going to put yourself first through and through, because at the end of the day, you are the one who's feeling the brunt. So it's your choice to put yourself first, and no one will.
Yeah. It appears as though we have a unanimous decision wherein all of us are suggesting that Anonymous must prioritize herself. She cannot be working this hard, and if people are not appreciative of her efforts, it simply means it's what she brings to the table that counts, not who she is to them. And all that they are thinking of is their benefit from Anonymous. They're not thinking about her health. If she were to collapse, if she were, God forbid, to die, to get sick, to be on a hospital bed, or any other of those calamities, she would find herself alone, and she would realize that they do not care about her at all. And, it's very much, I suppose, a little bit hazy to think that your family members would treat you like this, but there are families who work on this quid pro quo environment where you give all that you are and they take all that they can, only to give you very little of affection, and you keep on chasing this affection. You chase affection, and until you realize that you can't give it anymore. And it might also be unfortunate that in the process, you lose yourself, you lose even your life. 011-883-0702 and 072-702-1702.
Good morning, Tabo and 702 lenders. I'm an old lady, a pensioner. If my child would do that, I would understand. Before she does anything wrong to herself, she must leave the job and heal. Then God will give her another job when the time is right. Thank you. I'm Tabby.
Hi, Tabo. It's Marlon here from Winchester Hills. I don't think the problem is so much the hours. I think the money is the problem. If she had all that money to herself, would she still want to leave the job? I think it's because she needs to fill in gaps for the rest of the family. And that makes her unhappy. Because even if she works for another company, how does she know the conditions are not going to be demanding? I think the problem is sharing the money, and they don't appreciate it.
It's exactly 3 minutes to 12 o'clock on 702.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We're also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct. To give you balanced programming, fair comment, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we're not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, PO Box 412365, Craig Hall 2024. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
Joburg, it's time to show up for our city on Sunday, 26 July. Join thousands of Joburgers for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank. Walk through the heart of Johannesburg, celebrate its rich history and experience the exciting growth taking place in the CBD. As a committed partner invested in the future of our city, Standard Bank invites you to be part of a movement helping to build a stronger, safer and more vibrant Jozi for generations to come. Register today and take part in the walk that brings Johannesburg together. The 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, proudly partnered by Standard Bank.
The XXL Savings Championship is here, and with Checkers, everyone can save. Get deals like Nescafe Classic Instant Coffee, 200 or 230 grams, any two for 219 Rand. Parmalat Yogurt Selected Variants, 1 kg, any two for 75 Rand. And Head & Shoulders Shampoo or Conditioner, 400 mils for 89.99. Valid until 21 June, only at Checkers.
702 and Corporates That Care caught up with the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa about how they're reconnecting communities through safe, reliable and affordable rail transport.
When you talk about the scholars, pensioners, youth, any customer, one of the key things we focus on is customers must feel safe in the environment. So you find not only securitization of our assets, but also our customers, securing them, making them feel safe. We've got security on the trains. It's got the CCTV cameras on the trains, our stations. So the environment we need to look at, and that is critical. Part of our secondary mandate, Ongani, is also to generate revenue of our assets. We own significant property, land, but also other assets like fiber.
Visit prasa.com to learn more about their services, projects, and community initiatives. Corporates That Care with the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Always on point, Mandy Winner between 12 and 1. Don't miss it. She's in front of me to tell us what's coming up. Hey, Mandy, what's coming up on the show?
So the DA leader, Jordan Hill-Lewis, has asked the president to reshuffle cabinet. John Steenhuisen is out as agriculture minister. It's up to the president now to decide what to do. Police have used rubber bullets and stun grenades on Malawians seeking to be repatriated in Durban. The MK has gone to court over the validity of the 2024, that's right, 2024 national elections 2 years later. Kat Matlala is back in court and inflation figures are out. Inflation's up to 4.5% in May.
Don't miss it. 12 to 1. Mandy Winner on the midday report. I had a fabulous time here with you. Let's do it again tomorrow. Thanks to the team. Have a lovely afternoon.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Police have used stun grenades to disperse an unruly crowd of migrants at the Sherwood Community Hall in Durban. A group of undocumented Malawian nationals has been camping at the site for days now, demanding to return to their home country. Their sit-in follows tension